Today on WGN, the Cubs look to gain ground on the leaders of the pack in the NL Central. Today at 2 Eastern on Superstation WGN.
The Leadoff Man, brought to you by Walgreens, the pharmacy of the Chicago Cubs.
Well, the Cubs are surging at the perfect time. The first-place Brewers and their tailgating fans are in for the weekend. And the Cubs are working on a 6-game winning streak. Still a long way to go. The Cubs trail the Brewers by 7.5. But they can make up a lot of ground this weekend as they host Milwaukee. It's the first of 3 here on WGN Sports. Welcome to the Leadoff Man. I'm Len Casper. This is a much bigger series for the Cubs than it is the Brewers. The Cubs will only see this Milwaukee team 6 more times. They will all be here this series and then one late in August. And as we check in on the NL Central standings, Milwaukee with a big lead. Since they were no hit by Justin Verlander, they have won 12 of their last 14. So the Cubs, who have rattled off 6 in a row, have only picked up 1 game in the standings during this stretch. They try to get back to 500 today. Let's hear from Lou Piniella on the importance of this series.
It's important, but there's still a lot of baseball to be played regardless what happens. 3 months of baseball, I would categorize it as an important series, but nothing more than that.
So there you have it from Lou Piniella. Still early enough where you don't have to sweep, but you really want to win this series. Take at least 2 of 3. Coming up, we're going to hear from one of the hottest Cubs offensively and defensively. Mark DeRosa will sit down with Bob Brenly when we continue.
I'm getting a little tired of the sexual innuendo.
In your endo. On the next Scrubs.
So how's the drama queen doing?
I don't know. How are you?
Zing! Love comes in many flavors.
Whenever I see 2 beautiful women, I always have the same fantasy.
Including Rocky Road.
Really want it to be romantic.
Sweetie, it is. How much feeling am I supposed to lose in my extremities?
Next Scrubs. Tonight at 11:30 Eastern on Superstation WGN.
Before you order your next beer, consider this. Budweiser still goes to the expense of Beechwood aging, an original old-world style of lagering. And Budweiser cares enough to own and maintain world-renowned hop farms. A perfect choice in every corner bar, in every corner of the world. Reach for the perfect balance of flavor and refreshment. Budweiser. Open up a world of taste.
Irritating skin itch? Get the quick fix. Bug bite itch? Get the quick fix. Gold Bond Anti-Itch Cream helps stop skin irritations and itches fast with 2 strong medicines. Got an itch? Get Gold Bond Anti-Itch Cream, the quick fix for almost every itch.
TV Guide gives it 3 stars.
Don't tell somebody else you're going to string me up. Tell me.
A powerful story of a proud, uncompromising man. A memorable tribute. A moving, enlightening portrait of a forgotten hero. A powerhouse performance by James Earl Jones.
Hey, boy. Colored section's 1 row back. Colored section starts right here.
The Vernon John story.
Saturday at 3 Eastern on Superstation WGN.
For pain across your whole back, Icy Hot has it covered.
New Icy Hot Extra Large Patch starts icy to dull the pain, then hot to relax it away. For up to 8 hours of relief across your whole back.
Icy Hot has it covered.
Icy Hot XL. XL relief for XL pain.
We continue on the leadoff man. The Cubs hosting the Milwaukee Brewers, and they're coming off 2 consecutive sweeps, one on the south side and then one against the Colorado Rockies here. A lot of hot Cubs right now, and Mark DeRosa began the year as the everyday second baseman, but now he's the super utility guy. It's not because he's struggled, but because he's been needed in other defensive spots. Not only has his offense been tremendous, but the glove as well. He filled in admirably for Aramis Ramirez at third base. He can play right, and of course second base as well. And he's standing by with Bob Brenly.
Thanks a lot, Len. It's our pleasure to be joined down on the field by Cubs second baseman, third baseman, right fielder, first baseman. You started at all those positions this year. When you signed on with the Cubs, I think the idea was you were going to be the everyday second baseman, but you very unselfishly played all those positions and play them well. How do you stay prepared?
You know what? It's something I've done my whole career, and even though I did sign to play second base over here, I talked with Jim Henry and Lou and knew that, you know, situations would present themselves where I'd have to move around, and I have no problem doing that for the betterment of the club. And, you know, Aramis, his knee, he gets hurt and needs 2 weeks. And to go over to third, I know it gives Lou a lot of options. And there's a lot of guys on the ball club who could do that. Ryan Theriot and Mike Fontenot and myself hopefully give Lou an opportunity to give guys days off.
Yeah, you played on some winning ball clubs, and I know you know the importance of defense to the game. And I've been banging the drum up there that even though the offense has been very good, the starting pitching's been very good, the bullpen has been good, for me, the improved defense is a big reason for the turnaround recently.
I would agree. I mean, obviously, starting pitching and defense are the two things I think that win. I mean, it's nice that Alfonso Soriano has gotten as hot as he's been, and Mike Fontenot has been just a house of fire as well. But we've shored ourselves up defensively, and I think a lot has to be said about what Felix Piet and Angel Pagan have done in center field. They've really come in and done a nice job for us.
Yeah, talk about the young guys, not only what they've done on the field, but the energy that they bring to a ball club.
It's huge. You break camp with ideas of how the roster's supposed to flow, and it never seems to work out that way. I mean, the influx of these young guys has been huge. I know they're making Cliff Floyd a happier man, you know. It's been great. Ryan Theriot and Fontenot, Piet, Pagan, all these guys, just influx of energy and youth, and jumping around the clubhouse before the games and in the dugout right before we run out on the field. So they're keeping our old guys on our toes, I guess.
You know, we got together this winter back in January for the Cubs convention in the Caravan, and we went all over the state talking to Cubs fans, and I think you were a little in awe at that time of how the fans could be so much into baseball at that time of year. What do you think of the Cubs fans now during baseball season?
It's been unbelievable. I swear to you, I got my car today driving, and it felt like playoff baseball. I mean, it really did to me. I know every day the fans expect you to bring your best. You should do that anyway, but I know guys sometimes have a tendency to maybe, I don't want to say go through the motions, but you could squeeze through a few games without having to put it all out on the line. These fans deserve you going out there every day and busting your butt, and it's been awesome.
Talking about busting your butt and a long day today for you. You got up this morning and had a little competition with teammate Will Oman and your respective spouses.
Yeah, we did. Me and my wife Heidi, we woke up early and challenged Will Oman and his wife to the newlywed game on a radio station to score, and me and my wife were able to be victorious. So I think Will and his wife need to strengthen their relationship a little bit.
Well, Mark, thanks a lot, and continued success on the field, and let's keep it rolling.
You got it.
All right, Len, that's it for down here. Back up to you.
Bob, thank you. Mark DeRosa in the lineup today. So is Rich Hill. We'll talk about the pitching matchups when we continue.
How long is this going to last? I'm ready to hit the Bud Light. I already took care of it.
Say, well, all right, now we are gathered here today to join in marriage, Bob and Julie. Bob, do you take this woman to be your lawfully wedded wife? Do I hear and I do, I do, do I hear and I do?
I do.
Julie, do you take this man to be your lawfully wedded husband? Do I hear and I do, I do, do I hear and I do?
I do.
Going once, going twice, and now pronounce you husband and wife, you may kiss the bride.
And away we go. Refreshingly smooth Bud Light. Always worth it.
So what I owe you?
100, 100 and a quarter, 100 and a half, 1 divided 200, now 2 and a quarter.
That's cold.
Irritating skin itch? Get the quick fix. Bug bite it? Get the quick fix. Gold Bond Anti-Itch Cream helps stop skin irritations and itches fast with 2 strong medicine. Got an itch? Get Gold Bond Anti-Itch Cream, the quick fix for almost every itch.
At Sacred Heart Hospital, we treat patients like family.
Giving each individual the kind of personal attention you won't find anywhere else.
Carla?
Our doctors are among the best in the nation.
Claire!
I'm alive! And we're the leading edge in diagnostics.
Well, either this kid has a light bulb up his butt or his colon has a great idea.
In our home, you don't just get better, you get the best.
And every employee takes pride in his work.
Planning on making it worth my while?
Scrubs, weeknights at 11:30 on Superstation WGN.
Welcome back to Wrigley Field as we get set for baseball today. The wind is blowing in. It's cool, a little bit overcast, but should be a nice day for baseball. Left-hander Rich Hill, the third time he's faced Milwaukee this year, 1-1 with a 3.29 in 2 starts. He's pitched well. Giovanni Gallardo, a rookie, their top prospect for Milwaukee, third major league start, and the first for him on the road. Well, a great chance for the Cubs to close the gap against the division leader. We'll have Cubs baseball from the friendly confines next.
The leadoff man has been brought to you by Walgreens, the pharmacy of the Chicago Cubs.
This is my case.
I didn't kill anybody.
Bang, bang, bang. You have the right to remain silent.
Stories come to life. Weekdays, Homicide, Life on the Streets at 11 a.m. and Da Vinci's Inquest at 12 p.m. Only on Superstation WGN.
And everywhere I go, there's always something to remind me of another place and time.
Hey, Cubs fans, keep your eye on the ball. Every time a Cubs player hits a homer at Wrigley, you could be a winner. It's the Southwest Airlines How Far Did It Fly home run contest. After every Cubs homer, write down the distance along with your name and address and send it to WGN TV. 10 winners will receive 2 round-trip tickets to any Southwest Airlines destination. For every Cubs homer, ask yourself, how far did it fly? From Southwest Airlines, proud sponsor of the Chicago Cubs. Next 24. Bioterrorists manufacture a deadly new disease.
If we don't stop this virus, the world as we know it will change forever.
And Jack's moves to stop it make him a suspect.
I didn't know whether to save you or kill you. I expected you to follow my orders.
Now, an old enemy unleashes a virus of her own.
Your entire anti-terrorist computer network is jammed.
We need that kill code.
Exposing Jack's identity to the terrorists.
What have you done?
Next 24. Saturday night at 11:30 on WGN. The tears, the talent, and the outtakes. American Idol Rewind. Saturdays on Superstation WGN. The following is a presentation of WGN Sports.
Field on a cool, breezy late June afternoon, and we're set for Chicago Cubs baseball on WGN Sports. Prince Fielder and the first place Brewers are here. 2 of the hottest teams in baseball will go at it this weekend. It's the first of 3. The Cubs hosting Milwaukee. Welcome to Cubs baseball here on WGN. Bob Brenly and Len Casper with you. The Cubs, well, they're 7.5 out, but you can gain a lot of ground because you don't have to look at the scoreboard this weekend. But, you know, the Cubs are playing well. They haven't been picking up ground.
Well, unfortunately, they have not because the Brewers have been playing so well. But if you're the Cubs, you just have to take care of your own business. You see what these 2 teams have done in the last 14 ball games, the 2 hottest teams in the National League. 3 games here at Wrigley, 3 more later in the season. This is a chance for the Cubs to make up some ground head-to-head.
On Sunday, the National League All-Star starters will be announced, and we're going to talk about two guys who will probably be in that lineup together, Alfonso Soriano and Prince Fielder on the other side.
And what a lineup that'll be if these guys maintain the kind of pace that they've had offensively leading into that All-Star break. Alfonso Soriano on Fridays, forget about it. 6 of his home runs have come on the last work day of the week, and boy, does he go to work on Fridays. Prince Fielder, on the other hand, you talk about the All-Star game. Should he maintain his lead at first base, he'll be the first Brewer to be voted into the All-Star game since 1988, Paul Molitor.
Left-hander Rich Hill will get the start to begin this big series, and he's faced Milwaukee a couple of times and has pitched well.
Well, he's pitched well against them in the past, and what you have to be careful of is that the Brewers don't make an adjustment to Rich Hill. And talked to Rob Bowen before the ball game today. He had some different ideas coming over from San Diego, the way they've played the Brewers in the past, so it'll be interesting to watch Rich Hill today.
Rookie right-hander Giovanni Gallardo for Milwaukee. Now let's get the anthem. Wayne Messmer with the honor today.
And join along with me, Chicago Cubs public address announcer Wayne Messmer, accompanied by Gary Pressey at the Wrigley Field Lowry organ in a singing and playing of our national anthem. Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the
Wayne Messmer, a Wrigley Field tradition. Never too early to have a big series. This is a big one for the Cubs. They'll take on the first-place Brewers when we come back.
Chicago Cubs baseball, brought to you by refreshingly smooth Bud Light. Always worth it. Your Chicagoland Dodge dealers. The Illinois Lottery. No matter how you play the Illinois Lottery. Have a ball. By Pepsi. Your world, your Pepsi. And by Southwest Airlines. Whether you're traveling for business or pleasure, Southwest can get you there with over 3,000 nonstop daily flights to over 60 destinations. Visit southwest.com today.
I'm getting a little tired of the sexual innuendo.
In your endo.
On the next Scrubs.
So how's the drama queen doing?
I don't know. How are you?
Zing! Love comes in many flavors.
Whenever I see two beautiful women, I always have the same fantasy.
Including Rocky Road.
Really wanted to be romantic.
Sweetie, it is. How much feeling am I supposed to lose in my extremities?
Next Scrubs. Tonight at 11:30 Eastern on Superstation WGN.
You packed your own shoots for the first time, and that's a big deal. As a surprise, I stocked the fridge in the hangar with Bud Light.
Hey, where's the Bud Light?
So let's Polo.
Refreshingly smooth Bud Light. Always worth it.
That's cold. For pain across your whole back, Icy Hot has it covered.
New Icy Hot Extra Large Patch starts icy to dull the pain, then hot to relax it away. For up to 8 hours of relief across your whole back.
Icy Hot has it covered.
Icy Hot XL. XL relief for XL pain.
It's time to feel free with Chase Freedom. Feel free to choose points for rewards like travel.
I'm free to do what I want.
Or feel free to choose cash back.
I'm free.
Then feel free to change back again.
In the old time.
Without losing a thing. That's freedom. That's Chase Freedom. Get it free at chase.com/freedom.
Not only a big game between the Cubs and Brewers today, but it's also Alfonso Soriano Photo Day, sponsored by Gatorade. The first 20,000 fans received a scratch and win card. 500 random winners will receive an autographed Alfonso Soriano photo. Compliments of Gatorade. There will be second chance drawings throughout the game for additional winners.
And Alfonso taking the field with the rest of his Cubs teammates. Today's Chicago Cubs broadcast on WGN Sports, your official summer baseball station, is presented in high definition, sponsored by Comcast, and brought to you at 5.1 Dolby Surround Sound. This is one of those tweener days. Do I wear the jacket? Do I take off the jacket? Well, right now it's short sleeve weather. Seen a little bit of sun. And let's check in on Milwaukee's starting lineup. They had the day off just like the Cubs did. Corey Hart, red hot, a career best 14-game hitting streak. J.J. Hardy's at short. Rookie Ryan Braun hits third. That's a pretty good spot between Hardy and fielder. Hall in center. Estrada the catcher. Kevin Mensch is in left. Ricky Weeks, the second baseman, hits 8. And Giovanni Gallardo, and we're told he's a pretty good hitter. He's 1 for 4 this year.
And here's how the Cubs take the field defensively. Behind starter Rich Hill, brought to you by Pepsi, your world, your Pepsi. Soriano, PA, and Floyd across the outfield. Ramirez at third base. Fontenot moves over to shortstop today to make way for Mark DeRosa, who plays all over the field, as we talked about in our leadoff man show. Derek Lee over at first base. Rob Bowen will be doing the catching today for the left-hander Rich Hill. Briefly mentioned Rob Bowen coming over from the Padres, and it's always interesting when you have a catcher or pitcher come from another ball club, because sometimes their scouting reports are just a little different than what you're used to, and Rob Bowen had some very specific ideas how to go about pitching to Prince Fielder that they did with the Padres. We'll see how it goes today.
The umpire's Bruce Fremming is a crew chief. There have been reports that he will retire maybe after this season, but sounds like there may be an announcement coming up at the All-Star game. We'll see. By the way, he's from Milwaukee. And the crew chief calls that strike from Rich Hill to Corey Hart. He's been their leadoff guy for 22 games, has a .439 on-base percentage in that spot.
Talking to some of the Brewer players around the cage today, they said without a doubt this has been the hottest hitter in the lineup. He's hitting 26 of his last 28 ball games at a .360 clip, stealing bases. He's 16 out of 18 on the season.
Well, Bruce flinched a little bit, didn't he?
That's an umpire balk right there. It looked like Bruce wanted to call that big breaking ball a strike. He kind of started up and then turned away to his right just a little bit.
Fouled off by Hart. Ned Yost has to be very pleased with the way his team has bounced back. They won 24 of their first 34, lost 20 of their next 30. They bottomed out on June 12th. They were no hit in Detroit by Justin Verlander. But after that no-hitter, they've rattled off 12 of 14 and have kept the rest of the division pretty far away. Foul back, still 2-2, and the last time the Brewers were here, he suffered a broken collarbone as he tripped while jogging on the north side. So I'm not sure if Ned got out and ran today or if he just jumped on the treadmill at the team hotel.
And no, he was not tripped by a Cub fan. He just hit some uneven pavement and went down.
Well, we are told the pavement, a huge Cub fan. Good battle here.
You mentioned the no-hitter against the Tigers, and Ned Yost told me before the ball game he was really impressed by the way his ball club just came back the next day as if nothing had happened. That can be a traumatic experience, especially for a ball club with a lot of youngsters in the starting lineup, but he said they never missed a beat.
Another foul. You can tell why Hart's been in this good stretch, seeing the ball very well. Rich Hill trying to put him away. Cubs haven't lost in over a week. Season best 6-game winning streak. And here comes pitch number 9 to the first hitter. Swing and a miss on the curveball.
Yeah, some pitchers, when in doubt, will try to throw a little bit harder. It looked like Rich Hill took a little bit more off of that breaking ball. Corey Hart fouled off a number of them before Rich was able to finally get some good break on this big curveball from our Southwest RoboCam. First out of the game on a punch out.
Ball 1 on J.J. Hardy, the shortstop. Well, counting that strikeout, Rich Hill now in 14 innings against Milwaukee this year has allowed just 7 hits. He's 3rd in the National League, 4th in the majors in limiting opponents in batting average, coming in at .209 against. Pop foul out of play to the right. Carlos Zambrano says he is available for the All-Star game. That will require a shift in the starting rotation, and it sounds like his manager is amenable to that. If he stays in the rotation the way it's lined up now, Carlos would start Tuesday and Sunday next week in Washington and Pittsburgh respectively, and would not be available for the Tuesday All-Star game in San Francisco, but he could be moved up and pitched Monday, Saturday, and it sounds like Lou will consider it. And coming up early next week, Bob, after the starters are announced Sunday, Tony La Russa is going to have some really tough choices, isn't it?
Oh, no question about it. Every manager every year that has to pick the extras for that All-Star team has tough choices to make. And, you know, you could go ahead and start the argument now, guys that should be there that aren't there, guys that shouldn't be there that are there. It's always a good controversy every year, the All-Star game, and who gets to go and who doesn't get to go.
You didn't have to deal with any controversy.
Oh, no.
Everybody was happy. The guys who didn't make it, they called you, sent you flowers, said thanks for considering me.
Yeah.
I appreciate it.
The only guys that were happy were the 6 Diamondbacks I took.
There's ball 4. The Brewers really making Hill work. A strikeout and a walk. And 2 very deep at bats.
Boy, 16 pitches through the first 2 hitters of the ball game. That's that same curveball that we saw Bruce Fremming flinch on to Corey Hart. Just doesn't quite drop on that outside corner. Rich Hill needs to make just a little bit of an adjustment to get that pitch on the corner for a called strike.
There's rookie third baseman Ryan Braun. Bounced straight back.
Boy, Braun having a real good rookie season, hitting .328 overall. But how about this, Lynn? Against left-handed pitching, Ryan Braun hitting .519, 14 for 27. He has one of the most comfortable spots in any batting order in all of baseball, hitting behind Hart and Hardy and ahead of Fielder.
Well, appeal down to first. Mike Winters said no swing.
Gaudy numbers against left-handed pitching. Well, not bad against righties either.
Kick and a 1-1. Finds the zone on the breaker, 1-2. Braun was called up toward the end of May, so this is the first time he's ever played here at Wrigley Field. And Prince Fielder already with 5 home runs against the Cubs this year. One-two pitch. Another foul ball. One of 2 games going on right now in Philadelphia. The Mets and Phillies in the first of a day-night doubleheader. Mets leading 3-1 in the top of the 4th. That's it. Everything else later tonight. Hit hard and past the diving Ramirez. And the Brewers had 2 on with only 1 out. Now Prince Fielder has 27 home runs. He leads the National League. Only 26 have left the park. This was in Minnesota earlier this month.
Sky-high pop-up in that Metrodome. Ball hit off the speakers. Took a very awkward carom as far as the Twins are concerned, but Prince Fielder can't worry about that. He's motoring around the bases. A slight delay there at third. But chugs on home without a play, an inside the park home run. Somebody stop him.
And he gets hit by the first pitch. That was a curveball that didn't curve much, and Rich Hill in trouble.
Well, Rich is struggling with that breaking ball a little bit in the early going. Hasn't been able to drop it down into the strike zone. He's missed just off the outside corner a couple times and misses badly with this one. Catches Fielder right in the middle of the bat.
So 3 Brewers on the bases, and it's Bill Hall at the plate. 2 for 8 with 3 walks, 5 strikeouts against Hill. The wind coming out of the northwest at 66 degrees at game time. Right now blowing in from left and slightly left to right.
And I've talked at length over the last couple of weeks about the improved play of the Cubs, especially on defense. Rich Hill has to give his defense an opportunity to make some plays behind him here. He was 1 ground ball away from getting out of this terrible jam.
Hardy at third, Braun at second, Fielder at first. Only 1 hit, but a walk and a hit batter. And a flare over Derek Lee's head. Just foul. Well, that was a long run for Derek Lee, and fortunately for the Cubs, that ball barely was foul.
That ball just wasn't popped high enough in the air for Derek Lee to get underneath it. From our Southwest RoboCam, you'll see how close that ball hits to the right field line. Derek Lee helping out first base umpire Mike Winters just in case he didn't get a good look at it. Watch D. Lee help him out. Foul ball. Foul ball. Sometimes those umpires need an assist.
Looked like Derek was still able to give Winters a pretty good look at that ball. He was just in fair territory, and the ball dropped foul. Floyd coming in. DeRosa out. It's going to drop down. It gets by Cliff. DeRosa's going to pick it up. Everybody advances 1 base. And Milwaukee has a 1-0 lead on the bloop single by Bill Hall.
Well, we talk about the Wrigley Field winds all the time, Len. Normally the helping wind blowing out. This time the wind blowing in pushes this ball further and further away from Cliff Floyd. He can't get there on a dead run. Obviously, if he gets to that ball, there's no way the Brewers can score. All his momentum is coming in. It's a very shallow pop fly into right field, but just couldn't get there in time. . 。
So Bill Hall 1 for 2 in attempted bloop base hits. Hit one foul and then hit one fair. Now Johnny Estrada, the switch hitting catcher, hitting .316 from the right side, slugging over .500 from this side of the plate. That's foul. He had Braun jumping out of the way, and he actually jumped into fair territory to get out of the way of that ground ball.
Estrada by far the most likely candidate in this Brewers lineup to hit into a double play. He's grounded into 7 of them this year, leading the team. Does not run well.
Hill got a no decision his last time out. That was Saturday on the south side against the White Sox. An excellent comeback outing after his shortest start of the year in his previous appearance. Still 2 strikes on Estrada.
Last start for Rich you're talking about against the White Sox went 5 2/3, gave up 6 hits and 1 run. However, he did throw 105 pitches in those 5 2/3 innings of work. So the White Sox made him throw a lot of pitches early in that ball game as well.
Kick and a pitch. Another foul. The Brewers have hit a good 7 or 8 balls foul, making Hill throw some extra pitches. The next one, number 30 of the inning, is low, blocked by Bowen, 1-2.
Very smooth by Rob Bowen behind the plate. Big breaking ball, squares it up, hits right in the middle of the chest protector, drops straight down. Nicely done.
If you like switch hitting catchers, this is your series. 3 of the 4 backstops hit from both sides of the plate. The only guy who doesn't, Damian Miller. Tapper foul. Brewers have gotten a run on the Bill Hall single to right. Still only 1 out. Up and away that time on a heater. But he badly needs a double play ball. Over 30 pitches already. The 2-2. It's full. Well, Estrada earlier in the week with the bases loaded hit a grand slam on Tuesday. Hill needs to throw him a strike. The 3-2 pitch, fly to right. Floyd is there to make the catch. Braun coming in. The throw's going to go toward third, and it's 2-0, a sac fly for Johnny Estrada.
This ball hit a little better to right field than Bill Hall's. Estrada drives that ball into medium depth right field. Cliff has to kind of hold his ground. Couldn't really get much momentum. Decides just to throw the ball to third base and hold that runner at second. Braun trots home with the second run of the ball game for the Brewers.
Brings up Kevin Mensch. We talked about it in early June when we were in Milwaukee, and he is stuck on 1 walk. Now up to 161 plate appearances, and that walk was intentional. Pretty amazing. And it was April 4th. It was the first series of the season against the Los Angeles Dodgers. And we talked to stats, and the fewest walks in a single season since 1900, a minimum of 300 plate appearances, 2. Whitey Alperman, 1909. That's deep to right. And gone, a 3-run homer for Kevin Mensch. A very rough first inning for Rich Hill. He's thrown a ton of pitches, and the last one was hit out of the ballpark, and it's 5-0.
Another breaking ball just hangs up and out over the plate. Up around the letters. Mensch goes with it to the opposite field. And even though the wind is blowing in today, this ball has no trouble getting up into the bleachers to right field. Well, got some work to do today, offense.
Ricky Weeks, the 8th batter of the first inning. Well, you could say the Brewers have struck like lightning, but it's been a drawn-out first inning. They have battled Rich Hill throughout.
You know, it's one thing if you see a hitter go to the plate and foul off a lot of pitches and work a deep count, but every Brewer hitter that's gone to the plate has done that.
In his first 15 starts, Rich Hill had allowed 4 runs in the first inning, 5 today. Backhanded play by Fontenot. He dropped it, and Weeks is on. That will be an error. The 3rd of the year on Fontenot, and it will give the opposing pitcher a first inning at bat. Yikes.
Fontenot plays this ball on the backhand side to get himself in a good position to throw across the diamond for the out, and just doesn't squeeze that ball enough. Looked like he looked up just a second too soon and couldn't field it cleanly.
Bender for a strike. We're going to see some action in the first inning in the bullpen. 42 first inning pitches, and Scott Air has grabbed a baseball. I'll tell you something, partner. It started in the first at bat. Corey Hart struck out, but he made him work. When Hardy walked, Braun with a single. Fielder hit by the first pitch on a curveball. It hasn't gotten much better. And now the pitcher making some contact. Bill Hall with that bloop single to right. Ball to third. Scooped up by Ramirez. They send 9 to the plate, and 45 pitches later, Hill gets out of it, but not before Milwaukee scores 5.
Welcome to California.
We cruise.
We fly.
We run.
We go with the flow.
We let go.
And we believe one simple thing.
That every day in California is your lucky day.
Is your lucky day.
So there's just one thing you have to ask yourself.
How fast can you get here?
Find yourself in California. Southwest Airlines is taking low fares farther with more than 90 daily flights from Chicago Midway to these cities.
You are now free to move about the country.
I'm all out of love. I'm so lost without you. I know you were
Fall in love with breakfast again. Get back that feeling with Denny's Extreme Grand Slam. Because at Denny's, you can always eat like it's the weekend.
Irritating skin itch? Get the quick fix. Bug bite it? Get the quick fix. Gold Bond Anti-Itch Cream helps stop skin irritations and itches fast with 2 strong medicine. Got an itch? Get Gold Bond Anti-Itch Cream, the quick fix for almost every itch.
Charlie, Henry, wake up. Tom, you're wasting your time sleeping when you could be texting.
Left hand on top, right hand, sending a picture message. Texting!
Dad. Text IM, Pix, and Flicks as much as you want to anyone on any network in the U.S. when you switch to the new Verizon Wireless Family Share Plan. And now buy a navigation-ready LG and get the second free. Verizon Wireless.
Here's Lou Pinella's Cubs lineup for today's game against Giovanni Gallardo. Brought to you by Pepsi. Your world, your Pepsi. A lot of work to do. Soriano, Fontenot, Lee at the top. Ramirez, Floyd, DeRosa in the middle. And 7 through 9, Bowen, PA, and Hill.
Take a look at the Brewers defensively. Kevin Mensch with the big 3-run homer. He'll be in left field. Bill Hall in center field, adjusting nicely to his new position. Corey Hart over in right. Ryan Braun, J.J. Hardy, Ricky Weeks, and Prince Fielder across the infield. Switch hitting catcher Johnny Estrada behind the plate for the rookie, Giovanni Gallardo. This will be his 3rd major league start. Opponent's batting average of 191. This guy was the Milwaukee Brewers minor league pitcher of the year last year. Went 11-5 with a 1.86 ERA, punched out 186 batters, which led all minor leagues in just 155 innings last year.
His 0-1 pitch is a strike. Yeah, very good command, good poise. This will be his first start on the road. They have Chris Capuano, who's on the disabled list with a strained left groin, scheduled to rejoin their rotation on Tuesday in Pittsburgh. There's a swing and a miss, strike 3. And one of the questions is, what will happen to this rookie right-hander? At this point, it looks like he's going to join their bullpen. But they have a surplus of starters, which is a great position to be in.
And Gallardo throws a fastball that'll sit anywhere between 85 and 94 miles an hour. He's got a real good feel for adding and subtracting on his fastball. Also throws a big over-the-top curveball, a straight changeup. Very important for right-handed hitters to lay off high fastballs. He likes to elevate that ball and try to get hitters to chase it up out of the zone.
Deals a fastball in there against Fontenot with a 10-game hitting streak, 9 for 13 on the homestand. Player of the week candidate. Diving stop, Ryan Braun on the grass. Throws him out.
That's the idea for those guys who can bunt and run well. Try to draw those corner infielders in and then slap the ball past him. But Ryan Braun dives to his left to foil that base hit attempt.
Well, what's the old adage? If you're going to get down big, you might as well do it early. Give you a lot of time to catch up. Derek Lee drives it in the air, but it's not going to carry as Bill Hall makes a catch. A 7-pitch first inning for Gallardo. It's 5-0 Milwaukee.
What up, Pete?
Yo, I got an idea.
There's a new reason to celebrate your home. Ace Hardware is opening new stores nationwide, so we're celebrating with a national grand opening sale in your neighborhood with great deals and helpful advice.
Buy a Weber Smoky Joe grill for just $39.99 and get a $20 rebate. Ace Royal Paint. Buy 2 gallons and get the price of 1 gallon back by rebate. Plus 20 great items are eligible for a full retail cost rebate. Use your Ace Rewards card for double points at the grand opening sale this Friday and Saturday only.
Ace.
The helpful place.
For pain across your whole back, Icy Hot has it covered.
New Icy Hot Extra Large Patch starts icy to dull the pain, then hot to relax it away. For up to 8 hours of relief across your whole back.
Icy Hot has it covered.
Icy Hot XL. XL relief for XL pain.
From the night I went to the prom by myself to my 18th birthday party where all my ex-boyfriends showed up. It's all right here in the diary of me, Moesha Mitchell. Occupation, teenager.
Her name is Brandy. Her show is Moesha. Her message?
Follow your own star.
Weekdays at 5 on Superstation WGN.
Let's meet today's Celebrity Bat Kids, brought to you by Walgreens, the pharmacy of the Chicago Cubs. 15-year-old Elizabeth Simeo from Glen Ellen, Illinois, and Matthew Bach, a 10-year-old from Chicago. They're having a great day here at Wrigley, thanks to our friends at Walgreens. For information and official rules of the Walgreens Celebrity Bat Kids sweepstakes, go to www.wgnradio.com.
Well, second inning, Rich Hill hoping it goes a lot better than the first. He faced all 9. He gave up 5 runs on 3 hits. Now back by Hart. Speaking of WGN Radio, we'll have Steve Cochran. He does afternoon drive now. From 4 to 7, he'll handle the stretch. And he'll be good for a few laughs in the bottom of the 7th. What a good guy. Just hope the game's closer then. Now we saw Scott Air get up right at the end of the top of the first inning. Then he quickly sat down as Hill got out of it. He strikes out Hart for the second time. Let's hope it goes better after this, because he struck out Hart in the first inning. And you kind of get into that area, Bob, where as a manager and pitching coach, you ask yourself early on, can Rich Hill get it back today? You don't want to get too far behind, but you don't want to use your bullpen in the first or the second inning. It's never an easy answer, is it?
No, it's never easy. I mean, a lot of it has to do with the history of the pitcher on the mound that particular day. Has he been able to regroup in the past when he's hit some adversity? It looked like Rich was having some mechanical difficulties in that first inning. Just couldn't seem to get that breaking ball consistently down into the strike zone. He missed up and away. He hit a batter, left a few pitches over the heart of the plate. See if he's able to keep that ball down and over the plate in this inning.
I have to think mentally, especially for a young pitcher at this level, one of the things that's tough to learn, and I think it's one of the things that the great pitchers all do well, and that is you have outings where you give up a bunch of runs, but you still say to yourself, number one, my team can still win, and number two, I can still have a good outing. Look, I've given up 5 runs in the first inning, so no matter how many I go, my ERA is going to go up, but you put all that out of your mind. And for a young pitcher, sometimes I would guess that's a tough thing to get over.
It gets back to the old cliche about giving your team a chance to win. In order to do that, he's going to have to shut down this Brewers offense for the remainder of the afternoon here and give his offense a chance to get back into the ball game. And it's been done before, and it can be done again. But you're right, mentally, you hope Rich Hill's not out there trying to figure out his ERA on the fly. I don't think he is. I don't think he's that kind of a guy. But for some young pitchers, that can be very disconcerting to see your numbers go up as much as they did in the first inning today.
I mean, when Greg Maddux was here, we saw starts where he'd give up 3 or 4 in the first inning, and all of a sudden at the end of 6, he still allowed 4. They were all in the first inning. Found a way to settle down and hang around. The biggest thing that's going to be in Rich's way was the 45-pitch first inning. Off the plate inside, 3-2. He's been good pretty much throughout. He walks Hardy for the second time, so a mirror image of first and the second. A strikeout, then a walk. Braun singled his first time up. Things the Brewers have done, really two things. They've been great against their own division, 21-10 versus the National League Central. It's the best record of any team within its division. The other thing is that they've beaten the teams they should beat. And when they really scuffled is when they started to play a bunch of winning ball clubs. You could look at that two ways. You could say, well, maybe they're not ready for prime time. The way I've looked at it is they're winning the games they should win. If you do that, they're probably going to win this division. With the unbalanced schedule right now, the other 5 teams in the National League Central are under 500. So if they beat those teams regularly, that should be enough. The 1-1 from Hill. Swing and a miss by Braun.
You see Rich Hill going to plan B a little bit here in this inning. That was a backdoor slider right there. He's had trouble commanding that big breaking ball. He's either missing the strike zone by a wide margin or leaving him up over the plate. So Rob Bowen behind the plate going to more sliders. That time a backdoor slider got a swing and a miss from Braun.
Still 1-2. The other interesting thing about this season series is that the road team has taken 2 of 3 all 3 times. The Cubs winning 2 of 3 at Milwaukee in the 2 sets there, and first time in, the Brewers took 2 of 3 here. Doesn't make a whole lot of sense.
So much for the home field advantage.
Cubs need to change that around here, including today. Only 6 to go, all here against Milwaukee.
Mentioned that the Brewers starting pitcher Gallardo was the minor league pitcher of the year last year. Ryan Braun, the hitter at the plate, was the minor league player of the year last year for the Brewers.
The 65th pitch for Rich Hill. Maybe in from Hawaii, who knows? Swing and a miss, strike 3. Third strikeout for Hill. Tomorrow is 7-Eleven Day at Wrigley Field. Don't miss any of the action as the Cubs battle these Brewers. Note the start time is 2:55 p.m. The first 20,000 fans will receive a Cubs commemorative medallion. Compliments of 7-Eleven. Oh, thank heaven. Ball 1 on Prince Fielder. Well, you never mind strikeouts, but I think what Rich wants is a guy to swing at the first pitch at a ground ball to Derek Lee. That's what he really needs. 1-1. Inside.
And it's not unusual for a pitcher who relies on a breaking ball as much as Rich Hill does to struggle with it early in the ball game, and then at some point the light bulb just seems to go on and he gets command of that pitch. Sure, that's what Rich Hill, Larry Rothschild, and Luke Piniella are hoping for right now. Just can't seem to consistently spot that breaking ball.
Ground ball and a Backhanded play by Ramirez. He won't have a throw. They had the shift put on against Fielder. So he was shaded towards shortstop, and Fielder picks up a hit.
You see the big shift put on. Mark DeRosa playing out in shallow right field. Fontenot shading up the middle. Ramirez has to go several steps to his right just to get to that ball. And as we showed you earlier on that inside the park home run, Fielder runs a lot better than you realize.
Noticed he was laughing when he got to first base. I think the reason is that's not where he intended to hit the ball. Go back on your point about the curveball, and what that tells you is you got to keep throwing it. And either he's going to have it or he doesn't. But Rich Hill is a guy who needs to have his curveball to be effective.
Yeah, one thing you can do, you can try to work it back in as you go along. You know, maybe go to your other pitches, your fastball, your slider, your straight changeup. And in those situations where you get ahead in the count, really concentrate on burying that curveball. Throw it down in the dirt. That'll allow him to finish that pitch and maybe give him a little better feel for it when he does try to throw it for a strike.
Billy Petrick the other day made his big league debut. Pretty good chance we're going to see him at some point today. His dad dropped him off at the ballpark his first day in the big leagues. How neat is that? Dropped him off at work at Clark and Addison. 1-1 pitch. Ball fouled it off his front foot. He has protection up there with a shin / ankle / foot guard. Hardy at second, Fielder at first. Another drawn-out inning for Rich Hill. Foul tipped into the glove, so all 3 outs are strikeouts. And the Brewers fail to score. Bottom 2, 5-0.
Next 24. Bioterrorists manufacture a deadly new disease.
If we don't stop this virus, the world as we know it will change forever.
And Jack's moves to stop it make him a suspect.
I didn't know whether to save you or kill you. I expected you to follow my orders.
Now, an old enemy unleashes a virus of her own.
Your entire anti-terrorist computer network is jammed.
We need that kill code.
Exposing Jack's identity to the terrorists.
What have you done?
Next 24.
Saturday night at 11:30 on WGN.
It's so funny.
It's supposed to be a parrot, not a carrot, you moron.
Listen up! 3 Bud Lights for everyone, if this doesn't leave the room.
Refreshingly smooth Bud Light. Always worth it.
You know, you only need one eye patch.
That's cold. Charlie, Henry, wake up. Tom, you're wasting your time sleeping when you could be texting.
Left hand on top, right hand, sending a picture message. Texting!
Dad. Text IM, Picks, and Flicks as much as you want to anyone on any network in the U.S. when you switch to the new Verizon Wireless Family Share Plan. And now buy a navigation-ready LG and get the second free. Verizon Wireless.
If a Cubs player hits a homer today, write down the distance and player's name and send it to WGN TV. You could win 2 round-trip tickets to any Southwest Airlines destination.
The tears, the talent, and the outtakes. American Idol Rewind. Saturdays on Superstation WGN.
Well, it's baseball season, but it's wedding season as well. Cubs will bat in the bottom of the second. Giovanni Gallardo, 21-year-old rookie right-hander, to Aramis Ramirez, base hit. They put on the right-handed pull shift. They had Ricky Weeks behind second base, and Ramirez goes the other way.
Even though he gets a base hit, I'm a little surprised to see the Cubs as aggressive as they have been through the first 4 hitters of this ball game against a pitcher they've never seen before. You may recall in the last few years that's been a problem for the Cubs offensively, facing pitchers that they've never seen before, they don't have a real good book on. That time Ramirez finds a hole in that over-shifted infield, but let's see these Cubs hitters take a few more pitches just to get a better look at this young man for the second and third time around.
Here's Cliff Floyd. He'd love to have a big day for a couple of reasons, not only for his team but for his dad, Cornelius, who Cliff told me before the game was going to be brought out. He's still in the hospital recovering from surgery, but they're going to bring him to the ballpark today. Great. So Dad is scheduled to be here in the ballpark. He may be here already, which is great news. Cliff was very excited about it. Busted back fly ball. Bill Hull is there. That's the first out. And here comes today's leadoff man guest, Mark DeRosa. Big 3-run homer on Wednesday against the Rockies for Mark. I love what he said. He came to the ballpark today. It felt like a playoff atmosphere driving to the park. Takes that strike to make it 1-1. I suppose you could make the analogy of the Cubs in the standings and what's left in the season, and the Cubs down 5-0, but still early. 7.5 out, but a lot of baseball to be played. And even though they trail by 5 runs, they have a lot of outs to work with. And DeRosa with a base hit. So 2 on with Rob Bowen coming up.
Nice job by DeRosa taking that pitch on the outside corner right back up the middle of the field. There's guys whose natural approach is to hit the ball up the middle or to the opposite field. They tend to rarely get fooled. You don't see them take a lot of awkward pitches. They don't get out in front of a lot of off-speed pitches. Occasionally they will get jammed with a fastball inside, but when you stay on that ball as long as Mark DeRosa does, you're going to get a lot of base hits the other way.
Well, we had a field day with all the former LSU Tigers the other day. Rob Bowen signed with LSU before he ended up siding with the Twins, 2nd-round pick in '99. So it was possible that Rob Bowen could have ended up as one of the Fontenot-Theriault teammates in 2000. We got an email from Troy. I don't have his last name, but he pointed that out. Brad Hopp, we talked about the other day. So Rob Bowen almost joined that team. Swing and a miss.
That's that elevated 4-seam fastball from Gallardo. Looking at his pitching charts, his last time out against Kansas City, he got a lot of swings and misses on pitches above the belt. You look at the velocity, he's not overpowering with that fastball, but he hides it well. Use a mechanical term, seems to get the ball going downhill very well, and then when he does elevate the ball, it looks so big to the hitter that they have a problem laying off of it.
Billy Petrick is up. We're nearing the bottom of the order here, and if the Cubs have a chance offensively, they may just pinch hit for Rich Hill. Got him on a breaking ball, called strike 3.
Snap, drag, and curveball right on the outside corner. Gallardo only gave up 5 hits in that start against Kansas City. Went 7 strong innings. All 3 hits that the right-handers had against him came on breaking balls. Both the hits the lefties had against him came on fastballs.
Now rookie against rookie. Felix P.A. the batter. Outside, ball 1. Jock Jones is on deck to bat for Rich Hill in case that spot comes up. There's no guarantee Rich is out of the game. If his spot doesn't come up, they could put him back out in the 3rd inning. 2-1 on PA. This is where the American League National League thing comes into play big time. Kick and the pitch. 2-2. Gallardo was born in Mexico but grew up in Texas. Attended Trimble Tech High School and was a 2nd-round pick in 2004. Full count. Ball get out of the Cubs bullpen, so time called briefly. PA has struggled a bit lately. Ready for a 3-2 pitch, called strike 3, and a fastball frozen. And a pitch that caught the zone. 2 hits, no runs, 5-0 after 2.
These doctors are on the cutting edge of comedy. Scrubs, late nights on Superstation WGN.
My country, 'tis of the sweet land of liberty of the icy.
This 4th of July, the people of Southwest Airlines join the people of the United States of America as we celebrate our independence.
From every mountain side, let freedom ring.
You are now free to celebrate your birthday, America.
The new Turtle Waffle Bowl Sundae at Dairy Queen with creamy DQ soft serve, pecans, and... Wait, is it pecans or pecans? Pecans? Okay. Pecans and gooey caramel. Or is it caramel? Do one.
For pain across your whole back, Icy Hot has it covered.
New Icy Hot Extra Large Patch starts icy to dull the pain, then hot to relax it away. For up to 8 hours of relief across your whole back.
Icy Hot has it covered.
Icy Hot XL. XL relief for XL pain. Next 24. Bioterrorists manufacture a deadly new disease.
If we don't stop this virus, the world as we know it will change forever.
And Jack's moves to stop it make him a suspect.
I didn't know whether to save you or kill you. I expected you to follow my orders.
Now, an old enemy unleashes a virus of her own.
Your entire anti-terrorist computer network is jammed.
We need that kill code.
Exposing Jack's identity to the terrorists.
What have you done?
Next 24. Saturday night at 11:30 on WGN. The tears, the talent, and the outtakes. American Idol Rewind. Saturdays on Superstation WGN.
Hey, music fans, OAR is coming to Charter One Pavilion on Northerly Island Thursday, July 26th, with special guest Augustana. Part of the Bud Light Concert Series. Tickets are on sale now. For tickets, visit livenation.com or call Ticketmaster at 312-559-1212. Bud Light and live music, always worth it.
So, new life for Rich Hill. That foul ball by Johnny Estrada, the 30th foul ball hit off Rich Hill already. And there are a lot of pitchers through 2 innings who would not have even thrown 30 pitches. That's amazing. 29 foul balls in the first 2 innings for Milwaukee off Hill. I don't know if that was a game plan coming in. Hit as many foul balls as possible, but it has worked.
Those are really, really good hitters if that was their game plan and they've been able to foul off 30 pitches already. That's strictly a matter of coincidence.
There's another one. Petrick getting up for the second time. If you count those 2 and Scott Air, it's the 3rd time a Cubs reliever's gotten up. It's been a bizarre start. Fly ball by Estrada. Foul. And Bob, do you feel better about the Cubs offense maybe the second time around after having seen Gallardo once?
Well, you'd like to think so, but as I said, a lot of the Cub hitters attacked the first pitch they saw. Derek Lee saw 1 pitch, or Ramos Ramirez saw 1 pitch, so you'd like to think second time around they'll have a better idea of what to expect, but not necessarily.
Two the count on Estrada. Hill coming back. Reaches out, fouls that one away.
You know, and there have been a few hitters throughout baseball history, probably a lot more than you realize, who were very good at wasting pitchers' pitches. Billy Buckner, former Cub, was tremendous at fouling off borderline pitches and staying alive with 2 strikes. Wade Boggs, perennial batting champion, used to be able to do it really well. Just get a piece of those borderline pitches with 2 strikes, stay alive, and give that pitcher a chance to make a mistake when you could really do damage.
Hit hard, knocked down. Good play by Ramirez. A little bobble there, but he kept it in his glove and throws out Estrada.
Know your batter / runner. Ramos Ramirez handles this hot shot. Knocks it up in the air, stays with it, has plenty of time to throw on to first base. Estrada barely in your picture there. Nicely done.
What you're saying about being a good third baseman, what do you need?
Strong chest and a strong arm. That's Ron Santo's line.
Yeah. DeRosa can't handle it, and Mensch is on. That should be a single for Mensch.
It looked like DeRosa held his hands up momentarily as he was chasing after that ball, and like perhaps he lost it in the haze here today. The ball right in on his fist, just hits that little pop-up out into shallow right. DeRosa had his glove near the ball. You saw him right there with his hands up in the air. I don't think he really picked up that ball till it was right near his glove. He reaches out, tries to make the play. It just ticks off the webbing of his glove.
It's a tough error. No hit for Mensch. It's an error on DeRosa. It's the second one for the Cubs. The other one in the first inning by his double play partner Mike Fontenot. First pitch strike on Ricky Weeks.
And it's one of those days, not bright sunlight, but very, very hazy. It's one of those squinty days.
They have changed the scoring. It's a hit. Which I think's the right call.
I agree. They need to go back and change the one on Kaz Matsui the other day, too.
Oh, yeah.
Matsui probably ran about the same distance as DeRosa did, but straight out into center field, looking up into the sun, and couldn't make a play on a pop-up.
Sharply hit. Ramirez with time to get it to second, but Weeks runs well. That ball was hit very hard. Ramirez took his time, but man, oh man, Ricky Weeks got down there quickly, and DeRosa couldn't get it to Derek Lee for the double play, so they only get one.
Well, Ramos just took way too much time to get rid of that ball there. Ricky Weeks runs well. There's no question about it. And on a hard hit ball like this, you should be able to turn clear. Just took a little bit too long to unwind right there. Has the ball, takes a couple of crow hop steps before throwing on to DeRosa. He does everything he can to try to turn it, but with weak speed, they couldn't get him.
This is foul and out of play off the bat of Gallardo. Well, this is one of those days where you have to get that extra out when you can with a starting pitcher who has thrown a ton of pitches.
The inability to turn that double play allows Gallardo to come to the plate in this inning rather than leading off the fourth inning. I talk about that all the time, the way the lineup rolls over. You can get that pitcher leading off an inning. You'd like to think you can retire him and then go to work on the top of the batting order already with one out in the inning.
Pitches made by Rich Hill. A lot of strikes, but again, a lot of foul strikes. Over half those strikes have been foul balls. He's averaged 93.2 pitches per start. And almost hit Gallardo. Just able to get the back leg out of the way. 1-2. And right now the bullpen is short. 6 relievers out there. Luke Piniella prefers to have 7. Swing and a miss and a strikeout to end the inning. A hit, no runs. 5-zip Milwaukee.
They spent months proving their talent to the judges.
I think you have a great voice.
Now they have to prove it to the world. American Idol's very first top 10.
You could be what the American Idol is all about.
The palpitation.
Look at what you did to Paula, man.
The revelation.
Okay, I admit it, I've got a crush.
And see who Simon predicts to be the very first idol.
You will win this competition.
American Idol Rewind.
That is the most intelligent thing you've ever said on this show.
Sunday at 8 on Superstation WGN.
Hey, my beer! Come here, you little varmint! You can run, but you can't hide! Oh, you think the tree's gonna save you? You furry freak!
Fred?
Hey, neighbor.
Refreshingly smooth Bud Light. Always worth it.
Mine! Let go! No, you don't! Yes, I do! Let go, Fred!
That's cold.
Irritating skin itch? Get the quick fix. Bug bite itch? Get the quick fix. Gold Bond Anti-Itch Cream helps stop skin irritations and itches fast with 2 strong medicine. Got an itch? Get Gold Bond Anti-Itch Cream, the quick fix for almost every itch.
America's funniest home videos, weeknights on Superstation WGN.
I'm getting a little tired of the sexual innuendo.
In your endo.
On the next Scrubs.
So how's the drama queen doing?
I don't know. How are you?
Zing! Love comes in many flavors.
Whenever I see 2 beautiful women, I always have the same fantasy.
Including Rocky Road.
Really wanted to be romantic.
Sweetie, it is. How much feeling am I supposed to lose in my extremities? Next Scrubs.
Tonight at 11:30 Eastern on Superstation WGN.
Chicago Cubs baseball on WGN Sports, your official summer baseball station, is brought to you by Bud.tv, where entertainment is always on, only on www.bud.tv. Rich Hill is done for the day after 3 innings and 92 pitches. It's Jock Jones to pinch hit. Brewers hit 37 foul balls off Rich Hill. After Jock gets back to the top of the order, and Soriano and Fontenot. Deep to right, but not deep enough as Hart will put it away right at the edge of the track. Just one of those days. It's been his last 2 times here that he's really scuffled. The Padres hit the ball hard against him all day. 2 starts ago, he went just 3 innings, gave up 5 runs. And exact same line here. Okay. One and one.
Well, that's an example of that sneaky quick fastball from Gallardo. 88 miles an hour and blew it right by a good fastball hitter. Right where Soriano likes it, out over the plate and down. Another one.
Bounced up there and he went around. So Estrada will just throw it to the fielder as Mike Winters made the call from first base.
Short, sharp breaking ball from Gallardo this time hits well out in front of home plate. Soriano tried to check his swing. We'll get a real good look at it from this angle. And unfortunately, once again, that big heavy bat, tough to stop the barrel once you get it started. Looked like he got it out in front that time.
Here's Fontenot. Grounded out his first time, retired on a very nice play by Ryan Braun, the third baseman. And our friends over at the message board on Cubs.com with a let's give Mike Fontenot a nickname post. So I decided to put that up on our blog as well, trying to come up with a good nickname for one of the hottest hitters in baseball. I guess when he was a kid, his brother called him Mighty Mike. Way back when. Fonty, heard that. Check out our blog. Again, that post. Bob has a post about Mark DeRosa. Check out the 7th inning stretch performances this week, all on WGNTV.com. Click on the link for Len and Bob's blog. The Bayou Basher, some other ideas from the message boards. French Connection, Fondue. Full Fonty. Fantastic. Little Lord Fontenot. How about Dafont, D.A. Past Gallardo. Charged by Weeks. That's the inning. Another quick 1-2-3 inning for Gallardo. 5-0 Milwaukee.
I can feel a change a-coming. Start anew. Change. A change will do you good.
Michelob Light, crafted with noble European aroma hops. For a full-flavored light beer as distinctive as the bottle itself. Michelob Light, distinct by design.
You're messing with the wrong guy.
We're up to 1 million hits.
Sweet.
Who is it? Chuck Norris.
Yeah, right.
Like I said, we live in a society where the individual ego and the group dynamic are in constant struggle.
Response?
Yeah, I have a response. What?
Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance.
Nobody said this was going to be easy.
Now, see, if Geico.com had taken that approach, instead of telling everyone it's so easy a caveman can do it, I wouldn't be having an existential meltdown right now.
Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance.
This is my case.
I didn't kill anybody.
Bang, bang, bang.
You have the right to remain silent.
Stories come to life. Weekdays, Homicide, Life on the Streets at 11 a.m. and Da Vinci's Inquest at 12 p.m. Only on Superstation WGN.
Billy Petrick made his Major League debut 2 days ago. And went 1-2-3 in the 7th inning. He was pretty pumped up, wanted to scream when he walked off the mound. He did go back out there for the 8th inning and eventually gave up a 2-run homer to Garrett Atkins, but got a standing ovation when he walked off the mound. Swing and a miss by Corey Hart, who is leading off his 3rd inning. He started the year at High A Daytona, then at Double A Tennessee, now in the big leagues. Not quite sure where that ball was, but not a strike according to Bruce Fleming. 1-2. Here comes the next one. Took a squirrely hop over Ramirez. So Hart is on for the first time. If it's a hit, it's a 15-game hitting streak, and I sure think it has to be.
Breaking ball, outer half of the plate. Hart just rolls over, hits a topspin grounder that just shot past Ramirez at third base.
6 hits for the Brewers. Hardy's walked twice, has scored once. JJ was bothered recently by lower back tightness. It started with a cranky knee. He began favoring that, ended up tweaking his hip. Then he favored that, and then the back started to bark. It's all connected.
It really is, and that's why you have so much concern over a pitcher when he has any kind of an injury to his legs, his arms, his back, anything, because once that pitcher starts to alter his delivery, somewhere else in the body is going to feel the stress, and that's when you really start compounding those problems. With a check on Hart over there at first base. I mentioned earlier 16 out of 18 on the season in stolen base attempts. And even with a 5-0 lead, it is still very early in this ball game, so the old unwritten rules of baseball are still off at this point. Anything goes.
Caught the corner. Well, since June 3rd, Milwaukee 15-7, Tigers 15-7, Cubs 16-8. Best 3 teams in baseball. Jeff Milstein watching our game today in Longview, Texas. Happy birthday, Jeff, and we wish you a very speedy recovery. Also happy belated birthday to Teresa Bright of Kankakee. Recently celebrated number 80. Diehard Cub fan for 70 years. Runner goes, swing and a miss. The throw, got him. It's a double play, strike him out, throw him out. Bob Bowen nailing his first base stealer as a Cub. He's now 1 for 3 in that department.
The catcher's favorite double play, the old strike him out, throw him out. Well, all DeRosa had to do was catch the ball right there, and Hart slides right into the tag. Nicely done. .97 on the gun. Strike one on Braun. Well, what a day for milestones yesterday. Congratulations to Frank Thomas. It was 500th career home run, the 21st player to get to that plateau. Later was ejected. He argued a called third strike. And Craig Biggio, the 27th player, with his 3,000th hit. It was his third of 5 hits last night for Houston in a wild game. I don't know if this has ever happened before, but Troy Tulowitzki of the Rockies hit another go-ahead home run in the final at-bat for the Rockies on the road, and they would lose again. Carlos Lee with a game-ending grand slam. 5 hits for Biggio. Well, he brought Jeff Bagwell out on the field, and it was very important for Biggio to have Bagwell with him. But you could tell Bagwell was uncomfortable. It was Biggio's night, but you got to see those two guys together. Yeah, it's really hard to think about one without thinking about the other. They played side by side on the right side of that Astros infield for so many years, and both guys played the game the way you like to see it played. Craig Biggio, after the ball game, had dirt all over his uniform, which is what you'd expect. Very humble, very appreciative of the Astros organization for giving him the opportunity to play at the highest level and play the game the way he has all these years.
Meanwhile, the Rockies in a tailspin, having lost 7 in a row. How are you feeling if you're Troy Tulowitzki? I mean, you're on top of the world thinking, hey, a game-winning home run on the road.
Knock it off. Quit hitting those ninth-inning homers. And the game-winning rally was started with 2 outs. Craig Biggio legging out an infield single.
I'm telling you, you would have hit 35 home runs in that ballpark. It's Crawford boxes. It was made for you.
I'm telling you.
Caught by Ramirez. Time to leap perfectly. Robs Braun. Time to get to work offensively. Bottom 4. Lee, Ramirez, and Floyd coming up.
This copyrighted telecast is presented by the authority of the Chicago Cubs and may not be reproduced nor retransmitted in any form. And the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Chicago Cubs.
Have you enjoyed a Budweiser lately? Because I can only describe the smoothness you'll get from Beechwood aging. I can only tell you about the choicest hops. But if you really want to understand what makes Budweiser the king of beers, you have to taste it. Just taste it. The perfect balance of flavor and refreshment. Budweiser. Open up a world of taste.
I'm all out of love. I'm so lost without you. I know you were right.
Fall in love with breakfast again. Get back that feeling with breakfast anytime you want with Denny's Extreme Grand Slam.
Irritating skin itch? Get the quick fix. Bug bite itch? Get the quick fix. Gold Bond Anti-Itch Cream helps stop skin irritations and itches fast with 2 strong medicine. Got an itch? Get Gold Bond Anti-Itch Cream, the quick fix for almost every itch.
They've spent months proving their talent to the judges.
I think you have a great voice.
Now they have to prove it to the world. American Idol's very first Top 10.
You could be what the American Idol is all about.
The palpitation.
Look at what you did to Paula, man.
The revelation.
Okay, I admit it, I've got a crush.
And see who Simon predicts to be the very first idol.
You will win this competition.
American Idol Rewind.
That is the most intelligent thing you've ever said on this show.
Sunday at 8 on Superstation WGN.
1 ball, no strikes on Derek Lee, looking for his first home run since June 3rd against Atlanta. Had a great shot at the All-Star team. Derek's second in the league in batting. The online voting ended last night. In the last check, Alfonso Soriano was in the top 3 among outfielders in the National League. There's a strike. Aramis Ramirez will have a shot as well as a backup. There's a walk. Good start. First walk given up by Gallardo. Watch the Cubs battle the Brewers this Sunday at 1:20. Be sure to arrive early. The first 10,000 fans will receive an exclusive limited edition Cubs bobblehead doll, compliments of Chevrolet. We'll have Sunday's game for you right here on WGN Sports. Jason Markey for the Cubs. Dave Bush goes for the Brewers. Outside. They seem to be a little bit more patient now against Gallardo. First 2 outings, both quality starts. Going into the season, the top prospect in the Brewers organization, according to Baseball America. I mentioned he was born in Mexico and spent most of his childhood in Texas. The Brewers gave him number 49. Another Mexican-born Milwaukee pitcher way back when. Teddy Higuera wore 49. He was a left-hander. And there's a fly ball by Ramirez, and Mensch won't get it. Splits the gap. Lee will be held at third base, and the Cubs are their best opportunity. Second and third, no outs.
Ramirez, a strong man, breaks his bat badly at home plate, and that ball still carries out into the gap in left center field far enough for him to leg a double. Derek Lee rather ends up on third base. He's have a chance to creep back into this ball game here.
So here's Cliff Floyd.
We're perhaps one hitter away from seeing some more activity in that Cubs bullpen. If they can maintain this rally, keep it going.
A chopper. Derek Lee's going to now try to score. You had 2 collisions, and he will score. You had Fielder run into his own pitcher before he tagged out Cliff Floyd. Derek Lee went about a third of the way down the line and was going to hold up. But then the brief contact between defenders, and he was able to score 5-1. And Cliff will get an RBI. And meanwhile, Ramirez at third base. That was a bizarre play. You can't call obstruction with 2 defenders running into each other.
This game's tough enough to play when the other team stays out of your way, but when your own pitcher gets in the way, and then a nice pick right here by Cliff Floyd. Right in the line of fire, you'll watch Derek Lee as he reads the ball off the bat, thinks about scoring, decides to hold up, and then when he sees the confusion down the first baseline, he just trots on home and heads up base running by Aramis Ramirez, the trail runner. He had to watch and see what Derek Lee was going to do before he could do anything at second base.
He gets by the catcher on the bounce. 5-2. As as Ramirez scores on a wild pitch.
Cliff Floyd with that ground ball to the right side of the field. Fielder saw Derek Lee halfway down the line, decides to just go ahead and take the out, and once Fielder took his eye off Derek Lee, that was it. He broke for home plate, and then the wild pitch allows Ramirez to come on home to score. So good base running by the Cubs right there. Derek Lee and Aramis Ramirez.
There were 3 guys involved in that play, all doing a post-mortem on it. Meanwhile, 3-0. There's a strike, 3-1. Cubs inching their way back in. Well, the key to that play was just the brief hesitation by Derek. He takes another step. Fielder probably throws that ball to the catcher.
Well, Fielder was lining up initially to throw the ball home. He thought Derek Lee was going to try to score, but when D. Lee slammed on the brakes, Fielder just assumed he was going to go back to third, and when he came over to apply the tag to Cliff Floyd, that's when Derek made his break for home plate.
Ball 4. 2 walks in the inning. I wonder if Mike Maddox is going to head out. Here he comes. While we have a moment, let's step aside and see what's coming up on WGN.
Don't miss the award-winning Series 24 with Kiefer Sutherland, Saturday at 11:30 Eastern on Superstation WGN.
Bill Hall working on getting those sunglasses in order. And it's Rob Bowen digging in. Runner at first, 1 out, 2 runs in. Is not afraid to hit. With 2 strikes. He'll take pitches early on. And he swings at his pitches. Scott Air up yet again. We saw him in the first inning. Swings at that one. Soft liner and a catch on the backhand by Hardy. DeRosa back to first. PA caught looking on strikes to end the second. Batting with 2 outs and a runner on in the 4th. Felix struggled his first time up, went back to the minor leagues. When he came back the second time, he was much more patient early on. Got very hot batting second. And he's going through some struggles again here lately.
The struggles lately have been more a factor of swinging and missing. He just hasn't made enough contact to take advantage of that blazing speed that he has.
Good foul. Cubs are 27-15 in the 42 games in which PA has appeared. 11-24 in the other 35. He's definitely added some energy to this club. I've seen some other youngsters come up since. One of them is on deck. Billy Petrick might get his first big league at bat. Former high school offensive lineman. Two runs so far in the inning on one hit. Called strike three. So PA has been caught looking each of his first 2 times at the plate. The Cubs, however, get on the board with 2 runs and trail now by 3.
Sunday on WGN, the Cubs look to pull the plug on power player extraordinaire Prince Fielder. Another Central Division collision is on deck. Cubs, Brewers, Sunday at 2 Eastern on Superstation WGN. Superstation WGN is your home for blockbuster movies that let you escape into another world, where you can be a hero.
The United States government just asked us to save the world. Anybody want to say no?
A queen.
I am my father's daughter. I am not afraid of anything.
A thief.
It's not about the money. We like the chase.
Where you can be a little crazy.
You're crazy.
You're beautiful.
Where your dreams come true.
Where I feel like I could fly.
Where you can fall in love.
Are you the author of the plays of William Shakespeare?
I am.
And kiss me again, for I'm not this drunk.
Where you can go back in time.
Let's go. Welcome to Jurassic Park.
Or where you can go back home. Superstation WGN is your home for blockbuster movies that are fun for the entire family.
You got into Harvard Law?
What, like it's hard?
With action.
What the hell is happening? I blew up the building. What? Because you made a phone call.
Adventure. And everything in between. From the classics to the cutting edge, and from first kisses to first loves, our movies are where dreams come true. Superstation WGN.
5-2 Milwaukee. Felix PA called out on strikes for the second consecutive at bat. Fielder hit by a pitch in the first, scored on the 3-run homer by Mensch. Soriano camped under it.
Well, you talked about Felix PA getting called out on strikes twice already in the ball game. The first one borderline low, but I thought this one was a strike. Maybe right at the knees, went across the front of home plate, a little below the knees when Estrada caught it. But the second time, I think PA had a legitimate argument. I felt this pitch was low when it crossed the plate, even lower when Estrada caught it, and a slight delay by Bruce Fleming before making the call. Boy, don't think about it. Just react to what you see. That's all a manager or a team can ask of an umpire. Don't think about it. Just call it. It looked like Bruce Fleming had thoughts about that one before ringing up Felix PA. Been a number of top of the kneecap, bottom of the kneecap strikes called in this ball game today. Down there at the bottom.
That one above the strike zone on Bill Hall. Came into the game just 4 for 32 against the Cubs this year, but an RBI single in the first. Struck out in the second. Facing Petrick for the first time. And he misses a breaking ball. Sean Marshall gets the nod tomorrow. It'll be right-hander Ben Sheets for the Brewers. Swing and a miss. Strike 3. You hear us say it a lot, especially after a short outing, but the Cubs are going to need innings out of Sean Marshall tomorrow.
Petrick showing an overpowering fastball at times in the mid to upper 90s. He'll sink it, he'll cut it, throw a four-seamer to try to throw it up high in the strike zone.
2 outs, it's Estrada, sac fly and a ground out. I'll tell you one thing. If Jim Hendry doesn't have a reliever on a plane already here in case, I know he's made some phone calls to find out who would be the guy to come up, because again the bullpen was just 6 guys in it. Even with the off day yesterday, now you're asking them to give you at least 6 innings today. Cubs are going to need some help here at some point, probably before the first half ends.
I'm sure the phone call has already been made to find out whose day it was to pitch. Of course, they already know the rotation at AAA and AA, and they know whose day it is to pitch. And I'm sure the phone call has already been made in the event they need to hold somebody back tonight in the minor leagues to get them up here in time for the ball game tomorrow.
We've gotten a lot of emails about left-hander Ryan O'Malley, who had that magical major league debut last year. He struggled this year at AAA Iowa. 16 starts, 3-7 with a 7.61 earned run average. Looks like Ryan's biggest problem is giving up 16 home runs already, just over 73 innings. DeRosa to Lee, and Billy Petrick back-to-back scoreless innings. The Cubs are going to win this one today. The bullpen's got to come through big time.
Make it easy for yourself. With Southwest Airlines, you can fly nonstop from Chicago Midway to Long Island MacArthur for just $39 one way with a 7-day advance purchase.
You are now free to move about the country.
So what are we in the mood for? I'll know it when I see it. Okay, well, I think I just did.
New 5-cheese tortelloni with shrimp, stuffed pastas with Italian cheeses and a garlic seafood sauce, or tortelloni with sausage starting at $9.95 at Olive Garden.
Irritating skin itch? Get the quick fix. Bug bite itch? Get the quick fix. Gold Bond Anti-Itch Cream helps stop skin irritations and itches fast with 2 strong medicine. Got an itch? Get Gold Bond Anti-Itch Cream, the quick fix for almost every itch.
I'm getting a little tired of the sexual innuendo.
Innuendo.
On the next Scrubs.
So how's the drama queen doing?
I don't know. How are you?
Zing! Love comes in many flavors.
Whenever I see 2 beautiful women, I always have the same fantasy.
Including Rocky Road.
Really wanted to be romantic.
Sweetie, it is. How much feeling am I supposed to lose in my extremities? Next Scrubs. Tonight at 11:30 Eastern on Superstation WGN. Chicks. Dig.
It's awfully hot in here.
Becker.
Someone has been working out.
Becker. Watch him operate 5 nights a week. Late nights on Superstation WGN.
Excellent work by the rookie Billy Petrick. 2 scoreless frames, keeping the Brewers at 5. He's been removed for a pinch hitter, Cesar Torres. We saw Jones pinch hit for Hill in the 3rd. Now is Torres for Petrick. Michael Wuertz out of the bullpen will likely pitch in the 6th. Cubs beginning the day 7.5 back. Today's opponent. We've already seen 2 guys, and Wuertz will become the 3rd Cubs pitcher in the next half inning. Popped up by Cesar on the left side. And near third base is Braun for the first out.
Cubs getting their first look at young Gallardo out there on the mound for the Brewers. It's understandable that the first time through the lineup, especially when you're a little overly aggressive offensively, you're not going to have your best swings at a guy you've never seen before, but this guy gets better the second time through the lineup. It's just the third time around. Once that pitch count starts to get up there a little bit, the third and then subsequent fourth time that a team sees him, they have a little better luck against him. He's got good stuff, though. I'll tell you, I'm impressed with this young kid. Didn't know what to expect. Basically a three-pitch pitcher, fastball, curveball, changeup. A very rare changeup in the ball game today. Good over-the-top curveball, and that sneaky, quick fastball that he'll change speeds on.
Soriano leading the majors with 11 June home runs. 10th Cub ever to hit 11 in a month. Our big surprise, leading the National League in slugging this month, 704. To the right, that one will drop down for Soriano. Over to get it is Corey Hart. Soriano busting his tail towards second. He'll slide in safely.
Soriano with that wide spread out stance, no stride whatsoever, just a little bit of a weight shift, and then takes that pitch away from him, lines it down the line in right field. Pretty nice play by Corey Hart, but too much speed from Soriano. Easy double.
Here's DeFont. I don't know if that works or not. We'll just keep coming up with stuff till we find the right one.
Kind of like fondue myself. Fondue. He's hot and he's smooth, you know.
Good go. The hitman. He's been that. Gallardo steps off. He had his shortstop Hardy sneaking in behind Soriano and then backing up. Have you seen this high five, Zambrano and Fontenot? Carlos stands straight. He tries to get Fontenot to jump to give him a high five, and he just slaps him on the forearm. There's a big picture of that in the Tribune. I believe it was yesterday. Tell you what, he has earned his teammates' respect, and I think one swing was the big one. The home run he hit over the bleachers in right did not get out to Sheffield because it hit the back of the concourse and bounded back inside corner strike. It was a very impressive swing. And a 5-for-5 game to start this homestand. A 1-2 on the way, and struck him out. So he's 0 for 3 today. And Gallardo now with 6 strikeouts.
Tenth strikeout in 74 at bats for Fontenot. He's shown he's a real good contact hitter this time around. That time just couldn't come up with that breaking pitch.
The 0-1 with the 2 strikes on Lee. He's not throwing him a fastball on the first 2 pitches. Soriano doubled with 1 out. He's still at second. Weeks with a routine play. That ends the inning. 1 left, 5-2 Milwaukee as we go to the 6th.
They've spent months proving their talent to the judges.
I think you have a great voice.
Now they have to prove it to the world. American Idol's very first top 10.
You could be what the American Idol is all about.
And see who Simon predicts to be the very first idol.
You will win this competition.
American Idol Rewind.
Sunday at 8 on Superstation WGN.
Before you order your next beer, consider this. Budweiser still goes to the expense of Beechwood aging, an original old-world style of lagering. And Budweiser cares enough to own and maintain world-renowned hop farms. A perfect choice in every corner bar, in every corner of the world. Reach for the perfect balance of flavor and refreshment. Budweiser. Open up a world of taste.
I'm all out of love. I'm so lost without you. I know you were
Fall
right.
in love with breakfast again. Get back that feeling with Denny's Extreme Grand Slam. Because at Denny's, you can always eat like it's the weekend.
Irritating skin itch? Get the quick fix. Bug bite itch? Get the quick fix. Gold Bond Anti-Itch Cream helps stop skin irritations and itches fast with 2 strong medicine. Got an itch? Get Gold Bond Anti-Itch Cream, the quick fix for almost every itch.
Next 24. Bioterrorists manufacture a deadly new disease.
If we don't stop this virus, the world as we know it will change forever.
And Jack's moves to stop it make him a suspect.
I didn't know whether to save you or kill you. I expected you to follow my orders.
Now, an old enemy unleashes a virus of her own.
Your entire anti-terrorist computer network is jammed.
We need that kill code.
Exposing Jack's identity to the terrorists.
What have you done?
Next 24. Saturday night at 11:30 on WGN.
Today's Honda Civic game summary, a big first inning. That's been the difference. Milwaukee scoring 5 times, capped by the Kevin Mensch 3-run homer. Rich Hill today threw 92 pitches in just 3 innings. The Brewers hit 37 foul balls against him. They really made him work. Today's Honda Civic game summary. Get performance and save gas. Test drive a new Civic at your Honda dealer today. Third pitcher for the Cubs is Michael Wuertz, facing Kevin Mensch. A 1-0 pitch. Now 2-0 on Mensch. One of the other guys who had one of those seasons of a lot of at-bats and very few walks, Rob Piccolo, 1979, where the A's walked just 3 times over 300 plate appearances. (1905) with Philadelphia, Ossie Schreckenghost with just 3 walks. Remember Ossie?
Oh yeah, who doesn't?
John Warner with the New York Giants, 1901, walked 3 times. And again, Whitey Alperman with 2 as Kevin Mensch with his first unintentional walk of the entire season. Can you believe it? That was Mensch getting them out front 5-0 with a 3-run homer. It was already 2-zip when he hit that ball to right. Cliff Floyd with a ground ball to first. Derek Lee went a little bit down the line, but then after a couple of minor collisions at first base, able to score the run. And a wild pitch got the second run home to make it 5-2.
Well, you'll notice everybody that runs into Prince Fielder just kind of bounces off. Like running into a wall. Earlier this year, Johnny Estrada chasing a little popped-up bunt. His legs chopped out from underneath him by Prince Fielder coming in trying to make a play. We saw that play and thought Johnny Estrada might be done for this season, but he was able to be available for the next ball game and played the following day. One of the few guys who's had a collision with Prince Fielder and lived to talk about it.
Slid into Mark Loretta the other day against Houston. Just off the outside corner. You'd hold your ground though if Prince Fielder were coming right at you, right? Game tying run in the 9th.
You have to.
You have no choice.
You don't look forward to it.
Kevin Mensch just walked for the second time this year, and the first time unintentionally. Do you think he knows that? Some guys know their stats, others don't. Do you think he realizes it's the first time?
I'm pretty sure he realizes that, yeah. I mean, when it's such an oddity to draw a base on balls, I think he's aware of it.
I mean, his batting average coming in was 272, his on base 273. That's hard to do. We're in late June.
Well, the batting average and the on-base percentage will go up drastically today. 2 hits already. On base all 3 times.
Called strike 3.
Good slider from Michael Wuertz. He's had a little trouble finding his release point since coming into this ball game. I mean, when you walk Kevin Mensch, you're having trouble with your release point from our Southwest RoboCam. Called strike 3 on Ricky Weeks.
There's a double play ball. The tag, and they were going to give him the out anyway. Yep. The second base umpire, Brian Runge, was pointing at Kevin Mensch. That would be interference on the runner. It's obstruction on the defender. Yeah, that was pretty obvious, wasn't it? A little shuffle. Whoops. He wasn't being a Mensch on that play. 5-2.
Chicago Cubs baseball is brought to you by Pepsi. Your world, your Pepsi.
Visit the largest science museum in the Western Hemisphere, the Museum of Science and Industry, msichicago.org.
Charlie, Henry, wake up. What's wrong? You're wasting your time sleeping when you could be texting.
Left hand on top, right hand, sending a picture message. Texting!
Dad.
Text IM, Pix, and Flicks as much as you want to anyone on any network in the U.S. when you switch to the new Verizon Wireless Family Share Plan. And now buy a navigation-ready LG and get the second free. Verizon Wireless.
He wrote the book on relationships.
He's just not that into you.
Now he's making over your life.
Today, I want to change your life. It's almost a miracle. You look beautiful.
You're pretty. And your relationships.
You need to get some dating done. Are you psyched about that?
The Greg Barrett Show.
Take a look.
Weekdays on Superstation WGN.
Chicks. Dig.
It's awfully hot in here.
Becker.
Someone has been working out.
Becker. Watch him operate 5 nights a week.
Late nights on Superstation WGN.
Kevin Mensch still smiling after interfering with his former Texas Rangers teammate Mark DeRosa.
From the RoboCam, you'll see DeRosa step into the baseline to apply the tag. Everything was okay up until that point, and then Mensch kind of leaned in there. Offensive foul. Will go the other way.
First round pick Joakim Noah, now a Chicago Bull. You break down the draft last night? I know you were traveling, right?
No, I just broke down. Yeah, I went to lacrosse yesterday to see my son Michael play a game in the Northwoods League and missed the draft. And by the way, a big thank you to everybody involved with the lacrosse loggers. Dan Kapanke, the owner, Chris Goodell, the general manager, and my son Michael's host family, Tom and Deb Walsh. They do a great job taking care of all those college kids coming into town for the summer. giving them an opportunity to continue to play baseball. Wood Bat League, great baseball.
A nice article in the Milwaukee Journal-Sentinel about Jim Gantner, who's managing in that league.
Managing his son as well as Billy Schroeder's son in the booth right next door to us.
Up the middle, and Weeks was playing again almost behind second base on the big shift against Ramirez. Otherwise, that's his third hit. But again, they probably retire Ramirez in the second inning if they don't have the shift on.
Yeah, you're right. You can see where Weeks is playing almost directly back up the middle of the field. That ball goes right over the rubber. And Weeks standing right there to make a play. Boy, if you're Ramos Ramirez, you can't change anything. He got a good pitch to hit right there. He hit the living daylights out of it. Unfortunately, with that shift, the Brewers had him positioned just right.
There's Cliff Floyd, but 1 out, nobody on. Speaking of lacrosse, did you hear this story? Damian Miller. Ned Yost got a letter from a Brewers fan in lacrosse, which is where Damian's from. Seems a fan was upset that Miller wasn't in the lineup on lacrosse day at the ballpark last year. That one will get through, and Floyd is on. So Yost made a note to himself, I got to make sure that I get Damian Miller in the lineup on lacrosse day, which happened to be Wednesday. Worked out pretty well. Miller hit the game-ending 3-run homer.
Over 2,000 people were at that ball game from lacrosse that day to hopefully watch their hometown hero succeed. And boy, did he come through in a big way.
He was asked by a reporter after the game if one of his relatives had sent that letter. He said probably. Well, Ned listens to the Brewers fans.
I believe Damian Miller was 10 for 19 against the starter that day for Houston, so that made it a really easy decision to start Damian Miller.
Carlos Villanueva's up for the Brewers. DeRosa lifts it. Mensch coming in. He's going to slide and make the catch. And Floyd able to get back to first in time. A couple of nice defensive plays for the outs in this inning. Weeks and then Mensch.
Oh, hung up just long enough for Mensch to come in and make a nice running catch. Probably an unnecessary throw back to first base. But Floyd wasn't really that far off the bag. You can see Mensch turned his head away there at the last instant. That ball might have been knuckling on its way out there. Had to make a quick adjustment right at the end of the play. Tried to get his face out of the way while making the sliding catch.
Strike one on Bowen. One and two. Brahms 0 for his last 12. Too high, 2-2. Milwaukee. 5 runs came in the first inning. Cubs with their 2 in the fourth. Bruce Fleming was thinking about it again. 3-2. Floyd will be running with the pitch.
Watch the reaction of Bruce Fleming behind home plate. It won't be quite as noticeable in slow motion, but he starts to turn to make his strike call and then thinks better of it.
Tell you what, that looked like a strike, but it's not where Estrada wanted it. So Bowen gets a break. Floyd runs, swing and a miss, strike 3. And the inning is over. It's Milwaukee 5, the Cubs 2.
The tears, the talent, and the outtakes. American Idol Rewind. Saturdays on Superstation WGN.
Flying to the Washington area for business? If these 15 reasons don't convince you to fly Southwest Airlines nonstop to Baltimore, Washington, and Washington Dulles International, maybe this will. Unlike other airlines, our low fares don't have hidden fees.
You are now free to move about the country.
Strong, like family. Strong, like friends. Strong, like tradition. For years, life's strongest moments have been served on Chinette. Chinette, life is served.
There's a new reason to celebrate your home. Ace Hardware is opening new stores nationwide, so we're celebrating with a national grand opening sale in your neighborhood with great deals and helpful advice.
Buy a Weber Smoky Joe grill for just $39.99 and get a $20 rebate. Ace Royal Paint. Buy 2 gallons and get the price of 1 gallon back by rebate. Plus, 20 great items are eligible for a full retail cost rebate. Use your Ace Rewards card for double points at the grand opening sale this Friday and Saturday only.
Ace.
The helpful place.
Time now for a Bud Light fan cam. The Psychedelic Furs are in town tonight. Here's one of their great hits, Heaven. Baseball heaven here at Wrigley Field. Today's Bud Light fan cam, always worth it. We're in the 7th inning, top of the order. Said that a lot. Corey Hart continues to lead off innings. Done it every time up. 2 strikes on him. Six hits for Milwaukee, 5 for the Cubs. Hart has struck out 3 times. So Michael Wuertz will now face J.J. Hardy.
Boy, Hart had been one of the hottest Brewers hitters coming into this series. 3 punch-outs and a single in this game today, and was caught stealing after his base hit.
Swing strike. Popped up by Hardy into the outfield, and it's Felix P.A. for the catch. 2 down.
You know, Len, one way a bench player can keep himself prepared, in this case, Coy Hill has gone down to the bullpen to warm up Scott Air. Now, if you look back to the bottom half of the 6th inning, Rob Bowen made the last out. So should Lou Piniella have to make a change in this inning, he would want to make a double switch at that catcher spot since Bowen made the last out. So rather than sit in the dugout and see what happens, Coy Hill goes on down to the bullpen to warm up Scott Air just in case he comes into the ball game along with the lefty.
Base hit into right by Ryan Braun, his second of the day. Now time to have a ball with our friends from the Illinois Lottery. Our good friend from WGN Radio, Steve Cochran, with our first pitch. I thought he was going to bring out the 5-wood today. Such a big golfer, but he did make the toss at a pretty good pitch.
Good stuff.
Nicely done.
A little cutter.
Getting ready for a 7th inning stretch. Prince Fielder with a man on and 2 outs. Happy birthday to Katie Marta, among many other duties. Katie with the Cubs coordinates the 7th inning stretch singers. In the booth with us with Steve Cochran. Happy 30th to Jason Carr in the Cubs Media Relations Department. He'll turn the big 3-0 tomorrow. 1-1 the count. There's Katie. You know, a lot of times you'll catch Katie kind of in the background when the 7th inning stretch is being conducted. She seems a little shy right now.
See, Katie got a little taste of that manager cam that we have down in the dugout sometimes when that robotic camera goes right up to the point of your nose. See, with a little more experience, she'll just slap it out of the way. You know, that's what managers do. Just push it out of the way, Katie.
Don't push Greg Gressel too hard. He'll end up out of the booth. Pretty high up here. Fouled back our way.
Another birthday today, Anthony Albanese. He's here at the ballpark today from the Chicago Young Professionals. You want to see some squared away young adults. That group has got it going on.
One and 2 on Fielder. Long look by Wuertz, and now Fielder needs time, and Bowen needs a word with his pitcher. What is that? Young Professional?
Chicago Young Professionals.
Something we would know nothing about.
I was invited to a breakfast earlier this year. Was the guest speaker for the Chicago Young Professionals, and let me tell you something. They were a little more prepared for that speech than I was. They had been up for hours. Starched and pressed and ready to go.
Did you wear a tie?
No.
Do you have a tie?
Yes.
Runner goes, swing and a miss. Strike 3. Stretch time.
Today's guest conductor for Take Me Out to the Ball Game, WGN Radio afternoon personality Steve Cochran.
All right, boys and girls, sing loud enough to embarrass the people you came with. Let them hear you all the way to Milwaukee. A 1, a 2, a 3. Take me out to the ball game. Take me out to the crowd. Now you! Root, root, root for them! If they don't win, it's a shame, for it's in the old ball game. Let's get a whole bunch of runs!
You're messing with the wrong guy.
We're up to 1 million hits.
Sweet.
Who is it?
Chuck Norris.
Yeah, right.
So what are we in the mood for?
I'll know it when I see it.
Okay, well, I think I just did.
New 5-cheese tortelloni with shrimp. Stuffed pastas with Italian cheeses and a garlic seafood sauce. Or tortelloni with sausage starting at $9.95 at Olive Garden.
I'm getting a little tired of the sexual innuendo.
Innuendo. On the next Scrubs.
So how's the drama queen doing?
I don't know. How are you?
Zing! Love comes in many flavors.
Whenever I see two beautiful women, I always have the same fantasy.
Including Rocky Road.
Really?
Into the Brewers bullpen now. Right-hander Carlos Villanueva against Felix P.A. Bottom 7, 5-2 Brewers. Steve Cochran from WGN Radio is with us. Pulled you off the golf course today.
Yeah, that's about the only thing that would get me off the golf course. Come play with you guys.
Well, it's good to have you.
You know what? I'm telling you what, the Brewers look great. The Cubs obviously been playing well. This is what baseball's all about. It's going to be a great weekend.
Looking for a big comeback today. Villanueva's been tremendous this year for the Brewers. Braun in at third, and the pitch to PA is outside. Steve, congratulations. Now the coveted afternoon drive host, 4 to 7 weekdays on WGN, but there's some days where you may not start right at 4 o'clock after a Cubs game, for instance.
I take a backseat to the Cubs every day. Yeah, when you guys go late, I get on a little later. Otherwise, I'll get out of the way early. But no, it's fun. It's fun, and it takes my limited skill set and uses it to the best of whatever abilities I might have. Hey, you guys were talking about my first pitch. I hope you were impressed.
Very much so, as PA takes a leadoff walk, and I think we're going to see Angel Pagan is in the on-deck circle. Bob, it looked like he fired a nice strike there.
Yeah, he did. He got a deceptive fastball. It's a lot slower than it looked.
Yeah, now you see here. Okay, I got a lot of stretch there. Okay, and I got a little drop in it. I'm telling you, that's almost unhittable.
Oh, yeah.
Tiger Woods fist pump. Or did he steal it from you?
Well, the only problem is I was on a pitch count. And it was one pitch, and that's why I couldn't start. But otherwise, I was ready to go.
So here's Pagan batting. Kind of a rough start today, but the bullpen's kept them close and got a shot here in the late innings.
Well, Rich Hill's been so good for most of the season. You hate to see that kind of blow up early, but as long as he's strong between the ears, we'll get him next time.
Well, he has shown an ability to bounce back.
I thought you guys would be impressed. I worked in about 8 baseball cliches into that one sentence.
That was really good.
Not bad.
He's got a future in this business.
Well,
now you do something, not only are you on the radio, but you've done something that to me is as impressive as anything in the entertainment field, and that is stand-up comedy.
Mm-hmm.
Now, how did you get into stand-up comedy?
I played a little ball and fortunately hurt my knee, so I couldn't play a whole lot of college football. So I had a good story to tell for the rest of my life. But I was a bit of a wise guy, and that was in the Cosell days, in the early 80s even, before ESPN and all those things. And because of that, the avenue was to get to be a disc jockey and get on stage and tell jokes. So I was in my early 20s, it's 20-plus years ago now. And it just kind of works. It's tough, but it's fun.
Change-up artist Matt Wise up in their bullpen. Damian Miller's going to head out.
I bet you were one of those guys, Steve, they talk about on the bus or in the clubhouse, in the locker room. You were the entertainment, I bet.
Yeah, I don't have a lot of respect for authority, and I think those guys tend to be more entertaining than some of the others. Of course, they don't stick around very long, as I've proven. Been kicked out of a lot of towns.
Way inside, they pushed Pagan off the plate, and it's full, 3-2.
You guys sounded great lately, by the way. We continue the love fest up here, but Bob was on the radio with me the other day. I just think you guys are grooving really well. I guess it helps when they're playing well, too, huh?
Sure does. Does help. Runner goes on the 3-2, and through the hole, base hit. PA is going to head to third. Tying run will come to the plate. And guess who, Steve? The guy with 11 homers this month. Pretty good spot. Soriano coming up.
Well, this is technically not a hit and run. PA is just running on the pitch, and Pagan happens to find that hole on the right side. Chasing his teammate all the way around to third base. PA with a quick beat back over his right shoulder. Didn't see the ball, so he did the right thing. He found Mike Quaddy at third base. Quaddy waving him on over. You see that big hole on the right side? Prince Fielder holding on PA at first. Ricky Weeks can't get there. Cubs have it cooking.
That's the other thing I love. Once you get winning, those balls find the hole. When you get in a bad streak, that team just find a glove.
Two of your biggest fans there, Steve, here at the ballpark today. I know you don't just talk sports on your show, but
a lot of sports, sure.
But talk about Cub fans who call in. I mean, listen to this. This is unbelievable.
Every true baseball fan in America has to have come to Wrigley Field to see a game live on their have to do it before they die list, because you can talk about it, you can tell people about it, but unless you're here, you don't get it.
Tying run at the plate in the 7th inning. The Cubs trailed 5-0 in the first inning. It's now 5-2. And off the inside corner, ball one on Soriano. A walk to start the inning, then Pagan a pinch hit single, and the Cubs in business. Brewers want a double play on the infield. And it's grounded foul, skipping over the dugout. How are Pat and Ron doing? I know you stopped over there beforehand.
I think they're about over. I think they've had a nice run, and I think it's about done. You know, they seem like they're pretty much in the final days, and frankly, we're talking to other people.
Don't start rumors here. That's high.
No, they're the best. Are you kidding me? I love those guys.
2-1. We're with Steve Cochran from WGN, and the Cubs are threatening here, so Steve may just do the rest of the game with us.
That's right. I'll hang around. You have to call security to get me out of here.
The next pitch. A strike called. Soriano not so sure, and there are about 40,000 others who took umbrage with that call.
That's why I think Major League Baseball does have to put LASIK surgery in the umpire's plan. I really think that's important.
Wow. Man, letter high breaking ball to Soriano.
Two balls, two strikes.
Somewhere Milt Pappas is saying, I told you so.
The pitch. Struck him out.
Oh, that hurts.
That was Soriano's reaction on that breaking ball for a called strike, too. He thought it was up above the letters. It was close. And then Villanueva comes right back with a good pitch, low and away off the corner.
Oh, one out. We still got him here, boys.
Still a good opportunity here. Fontenot at the plate. And ball one missing. Are you on after the game today?
I am. I'm a vital cog in the Tribune machinery. They couldn't do it without me, so I got to run back to the tower and entertain people. We do, you know, extended postgame now after all the 120 starts, which is a good time. And you can imagine the phone calls have been a lot more pleasant in the last week than they were in the 2 or 3 weeks before that.
Yeah, I'm sure a little bit.
Everybody's getting happier.
Now, you're running back. You're going to take Lakeshore Drive, or are you going to jog down Clark?
I'll probably run. Yeah, I'll probably just do a little jog.
2-1.
I actually have a rickshaw that brings me wherever I want to go in the city. I'm an old school guy.
Kick and the pitch.
There you go.
In the left base hit. 5-3. Fontenot now with an 11-gamer.
There you go. I like that Fontenot.
Fondue.
He's scrappy. Very nice.
Oh, good plate coverage ball on the outside corner, mid-thighs. Just flip it out there into left field, bringing home a run.
It's going to be it for Carlos Villanueva. It's like Matt Wise is coming in. LSU being well represented here at Wrigley Field. The tying runs are now on base. We'll take a break and be right back.
Superstation WGN is your home for blockbuster movies that let you escape into another world. Where you can be a hero.
The United States government just asked us to save the world. Anybody want to say no?
A queen.
I am my father's daughter. I am not afraid of anything.
a thief.
It's not about the money. We like to chase.
Where you can be a little crazy.
You're crazy.
You're beautiful.
Where your dreams come true.
Where I feel like I could fly.
Where you can fall in love.
Are you the author of the plays of William Shakespeare?
I am.
And kiss me again, for I'm not mistook.
Where you can go back in time.
Great Scott. Welcome to Jurassic Park.
Or where you can go back home.
Home.
Superstation WGN is your home for blockbuster movies that are fun for the entire family.
You got into Harvard Law?
What, like it's hard?
With action.
What the hell is happening? I blew up the building. What? Because you made a phone call.
Adventure. And everything in between. From the classics to the cutting edge. And from first kisses to first loves. Our movies are where dreams come true. Superstation WGN.
Cubs are in business. Angel Pagan hydrating over near the dugout, heading back to second base. Derek Lee coming up. And against Matt Wise. This place up for grabs right now. They're really into it. Steve Cochran in the booth with us. No better place to be.
Wind changing a little bit?
Ooh, it's blown pretty hard, I think, in from left at the moment. Yeah. Blowing a lot harder than it was earlier. First and second, one out, a run in. Here's a pitch to Derek Lee. It is a strike on the outside edge. You see a lot of change-ups from Matt Wise. Bill Hall to make the catch as Lee lines out to center.
Got a little too much hang time in it.
And 2 outs. It'll be Ramirez at the plate. And down on Michigan Avenue, people walking by can check you out. Do you ever get distracted when you're on the air by what's going on outside?
I get distracted any time of the day. Put something shiny in front of me, it'll lose me for 20 minutes. No, it's a great situation. And the backstory on that is that Today Show and all these other places that have done studios on the street, GN did that 20 plus years ago, and they all kind of got the idea there. So it's great. It's a great place to work. Heck of an office.
Ramirez with 2 hits and 3 tries.
And a great catch.
Yeah, it really was on that line out. Ryan Braun hit it in the 4th inning.
Yeah, the studio downtown is a lot like your bathroom at home, right? It's all glassed in.
That's exactly right. Yeah. I don't get as many spectators at home.
Nice setup. Hit on the hands, fouled off. Best comedian ever, your opinion?
Well, you know, it depends on who you're talking about, but a comedian's comedian, a guy that not everybody knows, a guy named Larry Miller, who is one of the great character actors of all time. Pure stand-up. Jay Leno, prior to doing The Tonight Show, everybody sees the monologue and goes, it's lame. Leno in his day was as good as anybody that ever did it.
Brian Regan, we ran into each other at the Brian Regan show.
Brian's brilliant.
Yeah. Another foul by Ramirez. 1 ball, 2 strikes.
Spent some time on the road last night listening to XM Radio, and Jonathan Winters, I heard a long set of Jonathan Winters old stuff. Really, really fun.
And you talk about brilliant. That guy could improv. You give him 2 ideas, he could do 30 minutes, and you'd be crying. I mean, he's tremendous. And a good guy, too, just as nice as can be. Most of those old school guys are just quality people.
Another foul. Ramirez broke his back. Maybe not.
Now back to that line drive at third. I was on the December trip down to Disney with the Cubs. And I didn't realize until then that Ramirez loves basketball. Was quite a basketball player when he was a kid. He looked like a guy going up for a board there. I mean, he got great air on that thing.
A terrific basketball player as a kid, but picked the right sport. Moved him off the plate, 2-2.
John Paxson watching. He may draft him today.
Floyd on deck. We're in the 7th. Fontenot with an RBI single, plating PA. Kick and a 2-2 pitch, swing and a miss, and that's the inning. Steve Cochran, I've heard a lot of great radio personalities, but I think you could do 6 hours without a piece of paper in front of you and keep it entertaining. I really mean that.
Good to see you, buddy. Good to see you.
5-3.
Always a pleasure.
relationships.
He's just not that into you.
Now he's making over your life.
Today, I want to change your life. It's almost a miracle. You look beautiful.
You're pretty. And your relationships.
You need to get some dating done. Are you psyched about that?
The Greg Barron Show.
Take a look.
Weekdays at 2 on Superstation WGN.
No matter what the label looks like, no matter how you say it, one beer is the perfect choice at any corner bar in any corner of the world. Reach for the perfect balance of flavor and refreshment. Budweiser. Open up a world of taste.
Another good thing about Geico is they've got, like, real live people working there 24/7. So, like, say you need to report a claim, right? A real person will be there to help you. Then you can use Geico.com to view photos of the damage, track your claim, print an estimate. You want an English muffin? They literally hand you a toasted muffin with butter and jam. Oh, it's tasty. That's a complete dramatisation, of course, but you get my point.
Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance.
It's time to feel free with Chase Freedom. Feel free to choose points for rewards like travel.
I'm free to do what I want.
Or feel free to choose cash back.
I'm free.
Then feel free to change back again.
In the old time.
Without losing a thing. That's freedom. That's Chase Freedom. Get it free at chase.com/freedom.
Well, it's 5-3. The Cubs got one. They wanted a lot more in the 7th. And Carlos Marmol will take over. You had Will Oman and Marmol each pick up their first career save in a series against the Rockies.
29 punch-outs in 21 innings for Carlos Marmol. Against only 8 walks. That's a real impressive number. This is a young man that had trouble finding the zone consistently last year. No question about his arm and his stuff. Just needed to find that strike zone more consistently, and he has done that for Lou Piniella this year.
And at some point down the road, you have to think he's going to be an everyday closer. He craves that role. It's something he would love to do. This is back out of play as Bill Hall with a foul strike. He was a starter last year. (13 of his 19 appearances in the big leagues were as a starter. 5-7 with a 6.08. Cliff Floyd will catch that slicing line drive. Let's take a look at our upcoming Cubs and Sox high-definition broadcast schedule, sponsored by Comcast. Sunday's broadcast against the Brewers on WGN starts with the leadoff man at 1 o'clock. The Sox will host Baltimore Monday night at 7 on WCIU Channel 26. And the Sox are back on WGN next Sunday, the 8th, against the Twins at 1 o'clock. 2007 Major League Baseball in HD, sponsored by Comcast. Well, if the Cubs are going to do it today, partner, it's going to be against Turnbow and or Cordero. Those are the 8th and 9th inning guys for Ned Yost.
Now, this game set up pretty well for Ned Yost and the way he likes to use his bullpen. We've already seen Matt Wise, the changeup specialist, and then you turn the ball over to Derek Turnbow, who throws about 1,000,000 miles an hour. Quite a change in styles of pitching leading up to Cordero.
One and two on Estrada. The pitch. Strike 3 on the swing. 41,909, the paid crowd. That's the largest Wrigley Field crowd here in 2007. Hoping for a big comeback. Packed out on the rooftops across both Waveland and Sheffield.
Well, the fans were outside the ballpark early today. Came flooding in when the gates opened, and it doesn't look like too many have left their seats as this ball game has progressed.
Big day for Mensch. 3-run homer. Infield single. His first unintentional walk of the year. Probably be in there again tomorrow with the southpaw Sean Marshall due to start for the Cubs, and then Sunday Jason Marquis. Called strike. 96 from Marmol. 2-1. We might not see Jeff Jenkins until the final game of this set. At least in a starting role. Derek Lee drifting through the bullpen, makes a catch. That's the third out. 2 at-bats to go for the Cubs. Cliff Floyd will start the bottom of the 8th, down 2.
Chicago Cubs baseball is brought to you by Southwest Airlines. With more flights to more places than ever before, Southwest is taking low fares even farther. Visit southwest.com.
Welcome to California.
We cruise.
We fly.
We run.
We go with the flow.
We let go.
And we believe one simple thing.
That every day in California
Is your lucky day.
Is your lucky day. So there's just one thing you have to ask yourself.
How fast can you get here?
Find yourself in California. Southwest Airlines is taking low fares farther with more than 90 daily flights from Chicago Midway to these cities.
You are now free to move about the country.
Strong, like family. Strong, like friends. Strong like tradition. For years, life's strongest moments have been served on Chinette. Chinette, life is served. I'm getting a little tired of the sexual innuendo.
In your endo.
On the next Scrubs.
So how's the drama queen doing?
I don't know. How are you?
Zing! Love comes in many flavors.
Whenever I see 2 beautiful women, I always have the same fantasy.
Including Rocky Road.
Really wanted to be romantic.
Sweetie, it is. How much feeling am I supposed to lose in my extremities?
Next Scrubs. Tonight at 11:30 Eastern on Superstation WGN. The tears, the talent, and the outtakes. American Idol Rewind. Saturdays on Superstation WGN.
This year, when you can't be at home to watch the Cubs on TV, check out MLB.TV. You can watch every out-of-market game of the season live online, even when you're traveling. And this year, live radio broadcasts are included with a subscription to MLB.TV. For more details, visit Cubs.com, where baseball is always on. A lot of fans like to keep score at the ball game. Get that scorecard ready. Pencils out. Hard-throwing right-hander Derek Turnbull against left-handed hitting Cliff Floyd. 1 for 3 for Cliff with an RBI and a ground out in the 4th inning. In a strange way, his failure last year after he became an all-star in the closer's role actually might have helped Milwaukee in the big picture, because they went out and made that deal and got Francisco Cordero from Texas. Turnbull's become the 8th inning guy, and Cordero in the 9th. So now they have that 1-2 punch.
Well, as I mentioned, you throw Matt Wise into the equation as well, a guy that makes his living throwing slow, and then you turn the ball over to Derek Turnbull, a guy who makes his living trying to throw the ball through the backstop.
2 runs allowed his last 11 appearances, covering 10 and a third innings, 13 strikeouts during that stretch. Fouled back on the ground. That's a large donut.
Not the kind you eat.
No. Swing and a miss, and Floyd is retired.
Off-speed pitch there. Not sure if that was a hard slider or change up, split, or something moving down. After seeing a steady diet of high 90s fastballs, that's a tough one to lay off of. Derek Turnbow against the Cubs, an inning and a third, an ERA of 13.50 in his last 2 appearances against the Cubs.
DeRosa jumping over that first pitch, and it got a good piece of Bruce Fleming. So Johnny Estrada will walk out toward the mound and give Bruce an opportunity to recover. We want to send out best wishes to George Knickerbocker, recovering from surgery at home and keeping score with us today. Ooh, that one was a direct hit. It's not the first time that's happened to Bruce Fleming. His 50th season working pro baseball games. 37th in the big leagues. 1-1 on DeRosa. After the first inning, Rich Hill in the second and third, and then the bullpen the rest of the way, giving the offense a chance here to come back. Interim closer Bob Howry is up. Three and one.
Another borderline pitch from Turnbow at the knees, just off the outside corner.
Hitters count for DeRosa, and he pops it up, but he'll get another chance. It'll be 3-2 when this one lands. Milwaukee 43-1. When leading after 8 innings. There's ball 4. I think DeRosa actually saw that ball got by Estrada as he removed that shin protection. And it's not going to be Rob Bowen. With a tying run coming to the plate, it'll be Darrell Ward. While we have a chance, let's step aside and see what's coming up on WGN.
When the spotlight's turned off, the camera's turned on. Catch what you didn't see the first time. American Idol Rewind, Sunday at 8 Eastern on Superstation WGN.
Ed Yost in the Brewers dugout. Trying to match wits with Lou Piniella today.
Well, this is why Darrell Ward wakes up in the morning. He lives for that one at bat late in the ball game, usually against the other team's best 8th inning pitcher or closer. 0 for 4 lifetime against Derek Turnbow. He has drawn a walk, however.
Looks at a strike and a heater. Coy Hill, who was out in the bullpen earlier, just headed back out when Ward was announced because he'll catch the 9th inning, working with his battery mate Bob Howry. DeRosa at first. Cubs would like to, at the very least, get one here in the 8th. Don't want to go into the bottom of the 9th trailing by more than one against Cordero. The road team in this season series has dominated. The Cubs have won 5 of the first 9, but they're only 1-2 at home, 4-2 in Milwaukee. They will not play at Miller Park again this year. Nice knockdown by Estrada to keep it in front of him.
And Johnny Estrada known more for his offensive capabilities than his defense, but keeps that one in front, holds Mark DeRosa at first base.
Turnbull ready for a 1-2 pitch. Another one bounced up there, and this one will allow DeRosa to get to second.
It's a 5th wild pitch of the season for Turnbow in only 36 innings of work. We talked about that overpowering fastball. Occasionally he'll try to overpower his breaking pitches as well, and that one hit way out in front of home plate. The high carom catches Estrada up near the shoulder and bounces over to the first base side, allowing DeRosa to move into scoring position.
Cubs trying to come all the way back today against the team with the best record in the National League. Cubs right now 1 under 500. They've won 6 in a row, but they're down 5-3 in the 8th. 2-2 pitch to Wuertz, swing and a miss. So Turnbull with 2 Ks in the inning.
It's not easy to hit Turnbow at any point. League batting well under 200 against him, but you definitely have to lay off of that high fastball, upper 90s, a little extra giddy up at the end.
PA struck out looking his first 2 times and walked and scored in the 7th against Villanueva. First 2 times up were against Giovanni Gallardo, with another quality start today. It's 3 straight to begin his major league career. 6 innings, 2 runs. Rich Hill struggled from the outset. 3 innings, 5 runs. Ryan Theriot on deck in Marmol's spot. We've seen Jones, Ward, Torres, Pagan. We're going to see Coy Hill, and Theriot's on deck. So Lou Piniella using everybody. Let's see where it was.
I know where it wasn't. It wasn't in the strike zone. Oh, Bruce is having a rough day behind the dish today.
PA now into protection mode with 2 strikes. Glove by Turnbull, and that's the inning. A 1-out walk, but DeRosa ends up stranded at second base. To the 9th we move, 5-3 Milwaukee.
Bioterrorists manufacture a deadly new disease.
If we don't stop this virus, the world as we know it will change forever.
Now, an old enemy unleashes a virus of her own.
Your entire anti-terrorist computer network is jammed.
We need that kill code.
Exposing Jack's identity to the terrorists.
What have you done?
Next 24. Saturday night at 11:30 on WGN.
You're messing with the wrong guy.
We're up to 1 million hits.
Sweet. Who is it?
Chuck Norris.
Yeah, right.
I'm so lost without you. I know you were right.
Fall in love with breakfast again. Get back that feeling with breakfast anytime you want with Denny's Extreme Grand Slam.
Irritating skin itch? Get the quick fix. Bug bite it? Get the quick fix. Gold Bond Anti-Itch Cream helps stop skin irritations and itches fast with 2 strong medicines. Got an itch? Get Gold Bond Anti-Itch Cream, the quick fix for almost every itch. Just think about it. Get it?
Coy Hill's the new catcher. And his battery mate is Bob Howry. So this is going to be 1 and out for Bob Howry. As we'll see Ryan Theriot pinch hit for him to start the bottom of the 9th. And it's Ricky Weeks at the plate. Craig Counsell on deck. And Turnbow spot.
I think it's a good move by Lou Piniella. A very subtle move, but a good move nonetheless. He brought Coy Hill into ball game to catch, brought Bob Howry into pitch. It would have been very easy to double switch. And then you have Coy Hill leading off the bottom half of the 9th inning, but with Ryan Theriot available off the bench, a guy who's better suited to being a leadoff hitter. He puts him straight up, they call it, in the lineup. Bob Howry comes into the 9th spot and will be taken down for a pinch hitter in the bottom of the inning.
And you think about, preserving your bullpen, and what if you need Howry for the 10th? Well, you got to get there in the first place, so you'll worry about it later.
Yeah, all Lou wants out of Bob Howry right now is a scoreless top of the 9th.
Since the 5-run first, Milwaukee, with 4 hits, they've all been singles. They haven't had a runner past second base. In fact, they've only had 1 in scoring position since the first inning. Yet they still lead 5-3. A 1-ball, 2-strike count. Line to left, right near Soriano, makes a catch about waist high.
Well, when your starter struggles early in the ball game and you have to go get him, you need your bullpen to step up and eat up some innings, and they have been able to do that today. 2 innings out of Petrick, 2 out of Wuertz, 1 out of Marmol. So far, a third of an inning out of Bob Howry. 0s on the board.
Counsell called back, and Tony Graffinino's going to hit.
Two for 9 with a home run, 3 RBI off the bench for Tony Graffinino.
The producer of Cubs baseball here on WGN Sports is Pete Toma. Skip Ellison is our director as Cordero gets ready. Mark Brady, our associate producer. The executive producer of WGN Sports, Bob Vorwald. The 0-1 on the way. Missing outside. Thanks as well to our stage manager in the booth, Angie Adocchio, our production assistant, Ben Heisler, our studio coordinator back at WGN, Jeff Carrier, and the rest of our great WGN baseball crew. Our 60th year bringing you Cubs baseball here on WGN. Baseball like it ought to be. Remember, the game time tomorrow is 2:55 if you're coming out. Also on July 16th against the San Francisco Giants. That would be a 6:08 p.m. Central Time start. Originally slated for 7:05. It will start just after 6 o'clock. Raffanino walks. Is reached once on a single in the fourth, but he was then caught stealing by Rob Bowen. Now, former Cub closer Rod Beck was laid to rest yesterday. Funeral services in Arizona. About 200 people showed up, including former managers Dusty Baker, Bruce Bochy, and former teammates Trevor Hoffman and Matt Williams. Now Hill out to chat with Howry. And again, you've had personal experiences with Rod Beck, and everything I've read the last several days, I mean, everybody just talked about what a down-to-earth guy he was.
I mean, you see it happen all the time. Guy makes it to the major leagues and suddenly his entire personality changes. He takes on a whole different attitude. He's now a big leaguer. That never happened with Rod Beck. He was just as down to earth as anybody you would ever want to meet.
Smack foul by Hart into the upper deck and out of the upper deck.
I guess the best way to put it, and we've said this about a lot of people in the game, he took the game seriously, but he didn't take himself seriously. Allowed himself to have some fun and enjoy the experience of playing baseball at this level, enjoy being around his teammates and competing against the best that there are.
Soriano coming in. He will knock it down after it hit the grass. And the Brewers have 2 on for the first time since the second. Larry Rothschild with a wireless connection to the bullpen. Southpaw Will Oman will get ready quickly. I think the reason is Prince Fielder lurking. Right now he is in the hole with Braun on deck. Normally doesn't take Will very long to get loose.
Well, if indeed we do see that matchup, Prince Fielder 2 for 8 lifetime against Will Oman. Has hit a home run. Oman has struck him out twice.
Popped up by Hardy. Infield fly rule, even though it's a little bit in the outfield. Right arm went up from the first baseman Mike Winters. 2 gone. Looking at the bottom of the ninth, you have, we assume, Ryan Theriot leading off as a pinch hitter, then Soriano, Fontenot, if anybody gets on, Derek Lee. So if you can keep it right here at 5-3, get a runner on, put that tying run at the plate against Cordero. Bob Howry needs to make a big pitch against Ryan Braun to get out of this inning. Inside, ball one. Theriot chomping at the bit to get up there. Kick and the 1-0 pitch. Bounced foul. Tommy Skinner getting out of the way quickly. The inside corner on a fastball. 2-1. So final in Philadelphia, the Mets edged the Phillies 6-5. Phillies came back late. They were down at 1.6-1. They came up short. Orlando Hernandez defeated J.D. Durbin. Billy Wagner was save number 16. Reyes and Delgado homered for the Mets. Rowand, Helms, Coast for the Phillies. Trouble awaiting on deck, the National League's home run leader, Prince Fielder. So the 3-1 to Braun, now 3-2. With a win today, the Mets now leading the Phillies and the Braves by 4. With a nightcap a little later. Full count, runners will go. The pitch. Called. Strike 3. Braun halfway to first base. Can't believe it. Bottom 9, 5-3.
On the next Scrubs.
How's the drama queen doing?
I don't know. How are you?
Zing! Love comes in many flavors.
Whenever I see two beautiful women, I always have the same fantasy.
Including Rocky Road.
Really wanted to be romantic.
Sweetie, it is. Next Scrubs. Tonight at 11:30 Eastern.
My country, 'tis the sweet land of liberty. Of the icy.
This 4th of July, the people of Southwest Airlines join the people of the United States of America as we celebrate our independence.
From every mountainside, let freedom ring.
You are now free to celebrate your birthday, America.
Strong, like family. Strong, like friends. Strong, like tradition. For years, life's strongest moments have been served on Chinette. Chinette, life is served.
They've spent months proving their talent to the judges.
I think you have a great voice.
Now they have to prove it to the world. American Idol's very first top 10.
You could be what the American Idol is all about.
The palpitation.
Look at what you did to Paula, man.
The revelation.
Okay, I admit it, I've got a crush.
And see who Simon predicts to be the very first idol.
You will win this competition.
American Idol Rewind.
That is the first intelligent thing you've ever said on this show.
Sunday at 8 on Superstation WGN.
Brian Braun couldn't believe it, called out on strikes. He was halfway to first base.
Bet he can't believe it. One of many questionable calls in this ball game today. And in-plate umpire Bruce Fleming says, stay there. Don't come back here and argue a called strike. Ron wisely just took off his batting gloves and headed out to third base.
Call him Coco Francisco Cordero. He paces the major leagues currently with 27 saves. Has not allowed a run over his last 5 appearances. 1 ball, 1 strike on the pinch hitter, Ryan Theriot. Cordero with his 30th save opportunity. He's only blown 2. Popped up on the right. And Weeks calls off, makes a catch. The fielder over there. The Brewers got 5 in the first. They have not trailed today. The blown saves were in consecutive appearances for Cordero against his former team, the Rangers in Texas, June 9th and 10th. Sharply hit on the ground, base hit. Tying run will come up. A 1-out single for Soriano, his second hit and 5 at bats. Fontenot the hitter.
No stride whatsoever that time from Soriano. Against a hard thrower, he just kind of lifts his left heel, puts it right back down on the ground, tries to be quick with his hands. Hard ground ball back up the middle of the field for a base hit.
Cordero working very quickly. A bouncer through the hole on the right side. Soriano making the turn. He'll get to third without a throw. Derek Lee will come up. And now it's getting interesting.
Tiger fans in the house today. Something to cheer about here. A hard ground ball through that right side. Fielder holding on Soriano at first base, leaving that big hole on the right side.
The pitch to Lee is a strike. Off speed at 87. A slider there by Cordero. 5-3 Brewers. 2 on, 1 out in the ninth. The pitch. Big swing, pulled foul. I don't know if I've seen a closer work faster than Cordero. As the wind at his back.
As we've seen throughout the last month or so of the season, nothing from the middle of the plate into Derek Lee, especially in a situation like this, bottom of the ninth inning. They're just going to stay away. Made a mistake that time. Breaking ball was supposed to be down low and away, threw it over the heart of the plate, but down.
2-2. Soriano at third, Fontenot at first, being held on by fielder. The kick and the pitch to Lee. High fly. Hart battling the sun. He finds the ball. Soriano tags and heads home to make it 5-4. Lee credited with a sac fly, his 40th RBI as well.
Cordero got away with another one there. Belt high fastball down the middle of the plate. Just that overpowering velocity. Derek Lee a little bit tardy, but got the good part of the bat on it for a sac fly to right field.
So now a 1-run ball game. Last chance here. It's Ramirez. Fontenot still at first. The pitch to Aramis. There's a drive. Deep left center. Cubs win. They win it. Ramirez. 2-run shot. Oh, baby. Can you believe it? massacred that pitch.
Oh, he had to. The wind blowing straight in. That ball may have ended up way out on Waveland Avenue on a normal day here at Wrigley with no wind. Just absolutely crushed it.
So the Cubs, who trailed 5-0 before they batted at all today, in front of the biggest crowd at home this year, win it. The Budweiser play of the game. It's not a ground out in the 5th inning. It's a game-winning homer in the 9th.
Cordero missed with a slider down, and on the inside part of the plate, Ramos doing his Carlton Fisk impersonation. No doubt that one was going to be fair. No doubt it was going to end up in the bleachers.
What a comeback. Cubs have done it in every way imaginable, and today the big comeback. They score the last 6 runs. More to come from Wrigley Field. Cubs win. Whew.
Hey, Chicago, what do you say? The Cubs are gonna win today. Let's go, Cubs, go! Go, Cubs, go! Hey, Chicago, what do you say? The Cubs are gonna win today. Go, Cubs, go!
Have you enjoyed a Budweiser lately? Because I can only describe the smoothness you'll get from Beechwood Aging. I can only tell you about the choicest hops. But if you really want to understand what makes Budweiser the king of beers, you have to taste it. Just taste it. The perfect balance of flavor and refreshment. Budweiser. Open up a world of taste.
I'm getting a little tired of the sexual innuendo.
Innuendo. On the next Scrubs.
So how's the drama queen doing?
I don't know. How are you?
Zing! Love comes in many flavors.
Whenever I see 2 beautiful women, I always have the same fantasy.
Including Rocky Road.
Really wanted to be romantic.
Sweetie, it is. How much feeling am I supposed to lose in my extremities? Next Scrubs. Tonight at 11:30 Eastern on Superstation WGN.
Just because I'm a foster kid doesn't mean I'm a lost cause.
I have the potential for greatness.
Some people have an attitude about me because my parents have problems.
I wish you could see me for who I am.
Don't be afraid of me.
And don't feel bad for me.
Just care what happens to us.
Dame una oportunidad.
If you can't be a foster parent, find another way to help foster children thrive.
Do something to help me make it.
Help make foster care better.
Just do something.
Don't write me off.
Don't write me off.
Don't write me off.
Foster kids are our kids. This message brought to you by WGN TV and the Illinois Foster Care Agency in your community.
Fontenot still at first. The pitch to Aramis. There's a drive. Deep left center. Cubs win. They win it. Ramirez, 2-run shot. Oh, baby. Can you believe it? Nobody wants to leave. What a finish. That's the second time all year Milwaukee has lost when leading after 8. The Cubs win 6-5. They're within 6.5. 6 runs, 10 hits, 1 error, 8 left for the Cubs. 5-8-0 with 7 left for Milwaukee. Howry the winner. Cordero the losing pitcher. 3:01 the game time. 41-909 the paid crowd. Well, our next broadcast on WGN Sports, your official summer baseball station. Sunday afternoon from right here at Wrigley Field. The Cubs and the Brewers will wrap up this 3-game set. Dave Bush for Milwaukee, Jason Marquis. For the Cubs, 1 o'clock Central Time for the award-winning leadoff man show. Once again, the final in walk-off fashion. The Cubs 6, the Brewers 5. Stay tuned. The Chevy Dealers 10th inning show is coming up next.
Chicago Cubs baseball, brought to you by Budweiser, the perfect balance of flavor and refreshment. Open up a world of taste. Comcast. Catch more Cubs home games in HD on Comcast Digital Cable. Call 1-888-4-BEST-TV today. The Illinois Lottery. No matter how you play the Illinois Lottery. Have a ball. By Pepsi. Your world, your Pepsi. And by Southwest Airlines. Whether you're traveling for business or pleasure, Southwest can get you there with over 3,000 nonstop daily flights to over 60 destinations. Visit southwest.com today.
Because Geico sounds like gecko. That's it. That's the only reason I'm here. The fact is, if Geico sounded like some other animal, like, I don't know, a puma, sure enough, there'd be some adorable little cat sitting here talking about Geico's low rates.
15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance.
You can't even imagine the pressure. I mean, I've literally got like 2 seconds to capture your attention while simultaneously informing you that you could save hundreds on car insurance by switching to Geico. Quite frankly, I don't think it's even possible.
15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance.
There's a new reason to celebrate your home. Ace Hardware is opening new stores nationwide, so we're celebrating with a national grand opening sale in your neighborhood with great deals and helpful advice.
Buy a Weber Smoky Joe grill for just $39.99 and get a $20 rebate. Ace Royal Paint. Buy 2 gallons and get the price of 1 gallon back by rebate. Plus 20 great items are eligible for a full retail cost rebate. Use your Ace Rewards card for double points at the grand opening sale this Friday and Saturday only.
Ace.
The helpful place.
This is my case.
I didn't kill anybody.
Bang, bang, bang.
You have the right to remain silent.
Stories come to life. Weekdays, Homicide, Life on the Streets at 11 a.m. and Da Vinci's Inquest at 12 p.m. Only on Superstation WGN. America's funniest home videos. Weeknights on Superstation WGN.
This is the Chevy Dealers 10th Inning Show, brought to you by your Chicagoland and Northwest Indiana Chevrolet dealers.
Just incredible. And the way it started looked like it was going to be a very long day. The Brewers with 5 runs in the first inning off Rich Hill. But the pitching then really settled in. The Brewers got nothing the rest of the day, and the Cubs offense just kept pushing and inching its way back. And Bob, I'll tell you what, in the 9th inning, Ramirez with a big home run, but the first 2 guys in the order with big hits as well.
Yeah, that's what they've been doing all along throughout this stretch by the Cubs when they've been playing better ball. Soriano, Fontenot setting the table for those guys in the middle.
6-5 the final, more to come.
No matter what the label looks like, no matter how you say it, one beer is the perfect choice at any corner bar in any corner of the world. Reach for the perfect balance of flavor and refreshment. Budweiser. Open up a world of taste.
I'm getting a little tired of the sexual innuendo.
In your endo.
On the next Scrubs.
So how's the drama queen doing?
I don't know. How are you?
Zing! Love comes in many flavors.
Whenever I see 2 beautiful women, I always have the same fantasy.
Including Rocky Road.
Really wanted to be romantic.
Sweetie, it is. How much feeling am I supposed to lose in my extremities?
Next Scrubs. Tonight at 11:30 Eastern on Superstation WGN. Chicks. Dig.
It's awfully hot in here.
Becker.
I know you're attracted to me.
Ew!
He's smooth and sophisticated.
Listen to me. Follow my lead.
I had a sex change operation.
Holy crap.
Someone has been working out.
Becker. Watch him operate 5 nights a week. Late nights on Superstation WGN.
Well, the Cubs started this series 7.5 out. They're now 6.5 back. You don't have to do any scoreboard watching today, and they're back to 500 overall on the season. First time in a while they've done that. And our Culver Suite play of the game got to be the final swing.
You think? That's one thing about this Cubs lineup offensively. They have so many guys that can beat you with the long ball on a given swing. Today it was Aramis Ramirez with the game winner.
And we'll be back to wrap it up. After this, the final 6-5 Cubs.
The Chevy Dealer's 10th Inning Show is brought to you in part by Culver's Restaurants, home of butter burgers and fresh frozen custard.
Just think about it. Get it.
Okay, I've been working on this plan for 3 years, and today's the day.
Okay.
Every Friday, the same Bud Light delivery guy takes the same route past us.
Okay.
You're the only one who can make the leap.
Okay.
When I say go, you jump over, grab some Bud Light, and jump back.
Okay.
Here he comes. Okay, 1, 2, 3, and go.
What'd you say?
Refreshingly smooth Bud Light. Always worth it.
Seriously, what'd you say?
That's cold.
He wrote the book on relationships.
He's just not that into you.
Now he's bringing it to daytime.
On the Greg Barron Show.
He's making over your life.
You look beautiful.
You're pretty.
And your relationships.
You need to get some dating done. Are you psyched about that?
Greg Barron.
Today, I want to change your life. It's almost a miracle.
Finally, a voice you can relate to.
I think you guys need to talk more because there's a love thing happening here.
The Greg Barron Show.
Take a look.
Weekdays on Superstation WGN.
The Chevy Dealer's 10th Inning Show has been brought to you in part by Culver's Restaurants, home of butter burgers and fresh frozen custard.
We're back at you Sunday for the finale of this set. 1 o'clock for the leadoff man, Dave Bush and Jason Marquis from Wrigley Field. And we will leave you today with one of the great moments of 2007. Last chance here, it's Ramirez. Fontenot still at first. The pitch to Aramis. There's a drive. Deep left center. Cubs win! They win it! Ramirez, two-run shot! Oh, baby!
He's hammering away at hilarity. It's Tim the Toolman Taylor. Home Improvement starts right now on Superstation WGN. We now join our program, already in progress.